you guys will not believe what Walmart just got caught doing. And this, you need to go verify this for yourself. If you go to Walmart, you can check this in 2 seconds and find out if they're doing this at your store as well, if it's a company-wide thing, or if it's strictly to this store. But wait until you hear this. So this guy, Jimmy Rigg, is who blew the whistle on this story. He has a bunch of videos on it, including the video about the Vizio acquisition by Walmart and that whole thing. Well, he discovered that on certain products, like this salt, for example, it shows you the net weight, and then it says down here, the price per pound, or in this case, per ounce. It doesn't add up. You're paying more than what it should be if you multiply that by how many ounces. Same thing with the black pepper. The black pepper per ounce is 89.5 cents. You get 3 ounces here, which should be 2 something, and instead it's $3.58. Now, Jimmy Rigg has also made videos on how you can go buy a 5-pound ham, put it on the scale, and it weighs like 4.5 pounds. Now, I don't recommend getting any meat from Walmart regardless, but they shouldn't be ripping off their customers. Now, the whole digital price tag thing has a lot of people flustered because while Walmart says, literally you can't make it up, Walmart's new tech, better outcomes, digital shelf labels are a win for customers. Meanwhile, all the other mainstream news are going, shoppers are concerned about price gouging and algorithmic this, that, and the other. Now, the question is, if you go to Walmart, go and find stuff that says per ounce, how much dollars, get your calculator out, and find out if some of the prices, if the math is not mathing. Also, give Jimmy Rigg a follow as well. He's a great guy for exposing, well, he's a consumer protection guy. So shout out to him. He also goes around to gas stations and tests how much ethanol really is in the gas. When they say it's E10, sometimes it's E15, and there's bad gas and stuff. Check him out.
Seekers, go to Walmart, man. Check out those. If you shop at Walmart, man, checking out those ounces, bro. Well, the math ain't mathing, man. Like I said, those digital tags, bro, it's based off algorithms, man. So, not like they're gonna upcharge you, bro. And they said how the Walmart just introduced like tap to pay a couple days ago, man. Everybody's trying to go digital, bro. I don't like that, man.
Bro, everything I love almost just myself. I came down in this basement to deliver these tanks, right? Everything cool, everything normal. Turning around, I'm chilling, I'm looking over here like, oh shit, is there another my heart fell out my ass when I seen this shit.
Theory, Mars was the original planet that humans are from. Okay. And then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. So there used to be like civilization that lived on Mars.
But now it's all dried up, right?
That's all dried up. Now back this. On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called xenon. Now, xenon on Earth is only found. This is crazy. Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately. It's only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
That's not even the super mode button.
I said no. What the?
Yeah, so theory, and it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
See, the craziest thing about all of this that's going on in the industry is that they smile and laugh. And it's like they having a good time, but it's like they don't think about what they had to do and how they got it. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. And it gets to the point where Satan uses your desires of what you want. Some may want women, some may want money. They use that. And then later on, it does a full spin back on you. And now you got to start doing rituals to repay that.
If you're one of those individuals that enjoys a good turkey burger every now and then, you may want to watch this next video. And why do I say that? Because a woman purchased some turkey burgers from her local supermarket, placed them onto a grill, and they began to foam. You heard what I said, foaming turkey burgers. Have a look at this video for yourself. Check this out for yourself.
These are turkey burgers.
No, they
Somebody
ain't.
Tell me why. They're foaming. Like they're made with soap.
Fake meat, man. Has to be.
Look at this.
That's not getting eaten. I hope it's not getting eaten.
Look at that. It's like soap.
If I didn't tell you what that was on the grill, you would have assumed it was a sausage patty with egg around it. Am I right or wrong? Where have you ever seen foam like that come off of turkey burgers? And she's 100% right. It does look like soap, and it picks up very foamy. And if you do a little research and look that up for yourself, there is some sort of unofficial explanation for it. And it is the fact that it is protein and water coming out of the meat when it's being grilled. And I don't know about you, but I've cooked turkey burgers before and never had that experience in my life. And at the end, she ended up throwing them in the trash where I
Smart.
believe they belong. Because can you imagine putting something on the grill that's supposed to be meat and it starts foaming like that? Do not eat it. Bring it back to the store or just toss it in the garbage. So I guess my question to you is, have you ever had that happen to you cooking any type of meat? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Pull up the boat in the middle of the road, man. In Boston. They go crazy.
Please tell me y'all have seen these photos that this underwater drone captured that have been released to the public of this unknown creature that looks a lot like a human. And people are saying that this is a mermaid. Apparently it was captured in a crevasse in the ocean. Now, it was only in frame for a couple of seconds, but whatever this thing is has a human-like nose, lips like a human, a facial structure, and huge eyes. And it is creepy as if the ocean wasn't creepy enough. Now, many people are saying that this is a mermaid or a siren. Here's the side profile of it. You can see like almost like nostrils, but why would it need nostrils if it's in the ocean? Unless it also breathes air like a dolphin. The video was just captured as it floated by this thing. And apparently when it went back, it was gone. But whatever this thing is, sat completely still and didn't even look at it when it went by. Like it was trying to go unnoticed. You guys think this is real? Let me know.
I think it could be cat, man, because it looks too realistic for me, bro. It didn't have like no fish features at all, man. No scales. It really had like a full nose. I have to call cop on that one, man. No seekers, did you really think that was a siren or mermaid, bro? Stranger things have happened this year.
Look what I found in my dad's basement.
Let's take a look, shan't we? So this is from 1973. Okay. Right there.
Okay. No monocle.
Gone. Let's look at the game.
I can remember, didn't he have one?
It's not even anywhere on the board.
There's streamers that are spies, my nigga. I don't know who it is. But there's at least one streamer that's a spy, my nigga. At least one. I'm not gonna say no names, but there's at least one streamer that's a spy. Confirmed. There has to be. Now it's up to y'all to figure that shit out. But there gotta be at least one streamer that's a spy, my nigga. Confirmed. No, it ain't me. It ain't me. I'm telling you, bro.
Interesting.
You guys have to.
Seekers, man. I don't know if y'all be watching streamers like that, bro. Some weird things have been going on, man. Fandom did say, bro, that there was a spy in the streamer world. I don't know if anybody ever figured it out or narrowed it down to who you think it might be, man. But actually, Seekers, comment down below, man. Tell me down below, bro. Who do you think is a spy in the streamer community, bro? No Fandom, man. He's up there, bro. One of the most popular streamers. He knows what he's talking about, bro. So if he says there's a spy in the streaming community, bro, I believe him. 100%. I got my guesses, man, but I want to hear you guys' first.
To see this giant
wasp that just flew into my house and I caught. Like, let me see if I can get a better angle. This thing is huge. I live in Rhode Island and I've never seen a wasp this big in my entire life. Like, I'm scared it's gonna get out of the lid. I literally caught it in this glass popcorn bucket. I have it outside because you could see it a lot better in here, but look at this thing.
That ain't no wasp. It's
Like,
way too big.
What the dude? According to Google, it's a great black wasp. I've never seen anything like this in my, like, 30-something years of living in Rhode Island. Like, this thing is gigantic. It's actually really cool, but, like, I'm also terrified. So, figured I'd come on here and show you, because that's friggin' wild. I literally had to catch it in this jar. It flew into the house.
Watch this.
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy sh! What the hell is that?
What is happening?
At first, this looks like an eagle chasing a dog down the side of a mountain. But watch it again, because something about the way this thing moves is seriously wrong. The dog is running across the hillside, and right behind it is what appears to be a large, dark bird. You might assume it's trying to take off or grab the dog, but it never does. Instead, it keeps moving forward on two legs, using its wings, almost like it's trying to balance itself while running. And that's what makes this footage so strange. It doesn't move like a normal bird because it's not flying, but it doesn't move like a normal animal either. The faster the dog runs, the faster this thing seems to follow, almost as if it's deliberately chasing it across the slope. The footage was recorded from a distance, so it's impossible to clearly identify what we're seeing. Some people believe it's simply a large bird moving awkwardly across uneven terrain, while others think it's something completely different. But if this really is an eagle, why is it running like this? So what do you think this thing is? A bird moving in a bizarre way? Or something else entirely?
What you are looking at is security footage from a local pub in a town in Maine. Now everybody's having a good time drinking. Pay attention to the guy in the white shirt. Because this footage right here left the cops totally confused about what happened. Look at that. Now this is not a glitch in the camera system. Look how everyone's reacting when this happens. Now one of the confusing things is why did everybody stare at the same time right before this happened?
Vanished.
The witnesses do not remember staring. All they remember was this guy disappearing. Look at that. Now possibly all at one time everybody got possessed by something strange. Or maybe this is the rapture.
Tesla driver is facing a permanent ban from FSD after being caught using a plastic dummy to fool the cabin camera. In the video, you can see that he first taped a color photo of himself beneath the rearview mirror, then placed a small plastic dummy head next to it to create the illusion that the driver was sitting upright and watching the road. But the real driver was in a completely different position. He had his feet up, his hands off the steering wheel, and appeared to be paying very little attention to the road ahead. Even more surprisingly, the setup seemed to actually fool the car's driver monitoring camera. For a while, the system believed the driver was still alert, so it did not keep issuing attention warnings, and the vehicle continued operating with FSD. After the video was posted online, it quickly drew widespread criticism. Many people said this was no longer just testing the technology, it was deliberately bypassing one of Tesla's most important safety systems. Under Tesla's policies, intentionally defeating driver monitoring can result in FSD being suspended, and repeated violations may lead to even longer restrictions. And if an accident happened while driving like this, the driver could also face serious legal and financial consequences.
I didn't really... Everyone said I should eat pizza. I was like, well, no, I don't want to. And then, because I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to.
But I need to take a step back because you just said something crazy. What do you mean, why would you want to eat pizza? I don't know, why get up in the morning?
Because
why look at the sun? Why enjoy a rainbow? President Trump, we need someone deported immediately. Yes. He's calling pizza an open sandwich. Yeah. Okay. Guillermo, unlock the door. All right. All right. We'll see you soon. Well, that is a shocking and controversial statement that could potentially affect your visa.
Should it?
Yeah.
Should it? No, it's not like I just wouldn't.
There's no getting out of this.
There's
now.
not.
Yeah, no.
There's a kitty cat.
Oh, that did scare me.
He's so cute. He's like an orange cat.
That was a ghost.
No way, yo, you saw that, right? Yo, he faded away. No, bro, no way.
He did.
Dude, you... What the f?
Somebody please tell me why Chinese citizens are reporting seeing this announcement on their television and be covered by Chinese state and regional media? This image was created and published by CN Hubei, an official state-backed news portal. And in case you need translation, as you can see here, like it says, translation, do not respond to aliens without authorization. International Academy of Astronautics updated recommendations. If extraterrestrial life is discovered, notify the United Nations immediately. The statement, like it says here, refers to the Declaration of Principles concerning the conduct of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, updated by the International Academy of Astronautics in mid-2026, its first major revision in over 15 years. Most importantly, though, like it says here, key details from the updated protocol: no unauthorized reply. Individual scientists, organizations, or nations must not transmit a response to extraterrestrial intelligence on their own. Any response is a global decision that requires international consultation, specifically through bodies like the United Nations. Strict verification before any public announcement. Potential techno-signatures or signals must undergo independent verification and peer review across multiple institutions. Immediate notification, though. Once verified, findings should be transparently shared with the global scientific community, the public, and international governance bodies. Somebody please tell me what the is going on in China, because I am heavily confused right now.
See, because if you got found some alien contact, bro, you contacted the United Nations, man. Or you just say a freaking, bro. I'm text message with the alien, man. I don't care, bro. Some weird things, man, regarding aliens have come out in this year 2026, bro. I would not think that would happen at all, man. Now they're saying we need permission to contact aliens, bro. I guess people have been trying to contact for aliens for years, man. That's like their dream. I don't think they're waiting for the United Nations, man, to make a decision.
Anyone have any idea where thousands of gallons of water just randomly goes overnight? Like it's just gone. Hot tub still has water, but the entire pool is empty.
Strange.
This right here is what frozen oxygen looks like, and this is what our blue sky looks like. Pretty similar. And what's even crazier is that some Italian was eating pasta in Sierra Leone, West Africa, and he found something called the Sky Stone, which I believe was made of about 77% oxygen, and then some like calcium and carbon, a few other minerals and stuff. But it was mainly oxygen, and at room temperature, it was a stone, a solid object. This guy found this in 1990, and a lot of people are claiming that, oh, you know, aliens came here and it's an alien stone and all this stupid stuff, when honestly, guys, it's a piece of the firmament. It's literally a piece of the firmament found in West Africa. And what's really weird to me is that the sky has to be blue for a reason. And if you think about it, if the sun's light is reaching the moon, and then the moon is reflecting the sun's light at nighttime, then all of the sky should be blue, because that means the light should be traveling to the moon and then traveling to us. But all you see is the moon giving off its own light. But I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only.
The Pentagon has officially dropped their 5th batch of UFO files, and this one has 25 objects swarming a U.S. live fire exercise at 1,300 miles per hour. So back in September of 2021, over the Gulf of Oman, U.S. Special Ops were running a live fire exercise aboard a gunship. They're saying that they logged around 25 of these orbs all at once, each only about 4 feet wide, flying in formation and moving aggressively. So, in the report, the crew dropped a flare in the water as a target, and 2 of the orbs actually came down and just hovered right over it. The second the gunship fired its cannon at it, both of them took off instantly and never even changed altitude. The Pentagon's own UFO office wasn't able to explain what this was. There's also a pilot over Afghanistan who says that a silent 500-foot triangle blocked out the stars above his base. The only thing that the other pilot said on the recording was, "Did you see that?" Yeah, he did. I'm here every single time they drop another batch. This is obviously the 5th one. If you don't want to miss the next one, just make sure you go ahead and add me now.
Yeah,
How did they keep dropping in these small batches, bro? Just let me just have like one major drop. It's like they're slow dripping, they're slow feeding us, man. You want all your info now, bro, especially when it comes to those UFOs.
5G, 6G will kill personal privacy. Researchers from Nokia Bell Labs are turning Wi-Fi and early 6G into X-ray-like radar that can map your body position, heartbeat, and movement through concrete walls. They're using your phone sensors, smart speakers, and computers to track all your internal movements, even inside your home. There's already an open source tool called RuView on GitHub that can turn your router into one of these radars right now. It's coming fast, and if you don't act, you'll be opted in by default. But here's how you can opt out of this invasive surveillance on your iPhone. Go to Settings, Privacy, and Security. Scroll through each category: microphone, motion and fitness, location. Revoke permissions for every app that doesn't need them. Then go to Settings, Privacy and Security, Tracking, toggle off. Allow apps to request to track. That cross-app data sharing. But this still leaves you exposed. Your device leaks fingerprints through Bluetooth handshake, cellular pings, and passive Wi-Fi probes that anchor your data right back to you. And don't sleep on low ultrasound tracking. Cross-device systems already use inaudible audio frequencies to pinpoint your location with zero network dependency. That's why the Zero Trace phone exists. Go to any app on your ZT phone, long press the icon, hit the info button, then go to permission. Right there you can block all the sensors we just talked about: mic, accelerometer, gyroscope, compass, cut off in one click. If the app doesn't rely on the internet, you can go one step further and turn off network permissions. This stops apps and networks from triangulating your data and sharing it across applications. Add dynamic EM shielding and you're blocking the specific MM wave bands Nokia is building this 6G surveillance tech on. This isn't theory anymore. Nokia is already demoing multi-node sensing where the entire 6G grid stitches together into a searchable digital twin of the world, logged forever. We're already at the cusp of what's coming, and the Zero Trace phone was built for it. While everyone else reacts, you're already protected.
The fact that they just skipped over 5G and said we're going straight to 6G is concerning. It's tracking you and all that, man. You have to go through all those steps, bro, just to turn off all those tracking things on your iPhone, bro. That's crazy, man, and it's sad. The Zero Trace phone, bro. I'm gonna have to look into that, man. I don't want people tracking me, bro, using Wi-Fi module, tracking my movement.
Is going to be a problem. Apple have just leaked that cameras will be added to your AirPods, and it could come as soon as next month. You see, this week Mac Rumors stumbled upon a new video from Apple themselves, in which Siri can be heard saying, with visual intelligence, your world becomes savable. All as a guy holds up a book to be captured only wearing AirPods.
See something you like? Just ask me to save it for later.
Now, before we get into the major red flags, the reason Apple is doing this makes a lot of sense. You see, having AI visually help you hands-free is every tech company's wet dream right now, because having to pull out your phone every time is a clunky process. And while yes, Zuck's product does solve that, wearing bulky glasses is certainly not for everyone. But Apple knows that not only are AirPods one of the most popular products in history, but people almost never need to take them out. In fact, it's because it would be so seamless that it becomes a problem. Having increasingly discrete cameras in public is becoming a major concern. Multiple venues in the UK have already banned Meta smart glasses, including restaurants, pubs, theaters, and courts. Other European countries like Germany already have pre-existing laws prohibiting recording devices hidden in everyday objects. So they could just quickly include the likes of earbuds and glasses. Apple's arch nemesis, the EU, are already drafting a report as we speak. And that's not to mention the shocking report that came out earlier this year detailing how Meta's subcontractors watched videos from these glasses of people, quote, using the toilet or having sex. One worker said, "We see everything from living rooms to naked bodies." And if you were to wear your AirPods into a locker room after a workout, almost no one is gonna notice. So when Siri tells you your world can become savable, I think we have to question, is that what we want? Either way, we are rapidly walking into the era of tiny cameras and advanced AI everywhere.
Sad. Bro, it's defying gravity, man.
Have y'all ever seen carrot and beet juice do something like this?
or this weird genetic modified lemon. Oh my goodness.
This is like a blood clot.
Blood clot?
I do my seat.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Bro, that lemon is deformed. And I don't think watermelon is supposed to be bendy like that. It's rubber. And the fact that that ice cream is not even melting from that hot water. And this is from McDonald's. This has to be 3D printed. Look at this. Even the chocolate is different now, y'all. Chocolate, they're attacking every sector in the food companies. All the food, all the fruits are getting attacked. They're being changed, manipulated.
The family was outside when they caught something on the camera that got the internet asking questions. If their CCTV didn't catch this, nobody would believe it. As they're standing outside, one of the kids points to something in the distance. And that's when several tiny figures are seen sprinting from point A to point B. They almost look like a family of duende-like creatures, disappearing as fast as they showed up. The family didn't know whether to walk up and investigate or fall back and leave them alone. Some people think that they were just skunks.
Nah.
Other people are saying that it's given Toy Story. Then there are people out there that think that there's something way worse. Watch it again and tell me in the comments, what do you think that was?
Seekers, tell me down below, were those duendes or were those something else, man? I really want to know what you guys think. Snakes just gliding around is crazy, bro. They're everywhere, man.
Epstein almost designed his place like a weird dungeon for his victims that were almost like liminal spaces. Or specifically like the back rooms. So you remember when the Epstein files dropped and everybody was going crazy about it. In the files, they're describing the inside of his place. And dude, some of the stuff that they show and what they're describing is so weird. You immediately are gonna go, yeah, bro, no, this is like some back room. I will show you images of some of the rooms that he had in this place. So this is one of the rooms, and it literally is just a room that is designed to look like a dentist's office for some reason, and it has a whole bunch of faces all over the walls that are like popping out of the walls.
Bro, this is like some horror film type of shit.
This is so weird.
That's really how it looks like?
Yes, this is really what the room looks like.
Yeah, bro, that's some backroom shit.
There's like a bunch of these other rooms where there's even a room that has a ballerina's leg coming out of a wall.
Bro, what?
Literally, like
it's like no clipping into the wall.
Into the wall, yeah. It's super weird. And then he also had like this weird obsession with the color blue. He put it like so many places in his house that's like hella prominent. And there's a lot of people that believe there's like a certain meaning to it or whatever. And the reason that people found out Epstein did this and he would make these rooms look so weird and like strange looking is because if the victims that he had would eventually go to the police and start describing the rooms that they were in, it would sound absolutely insane. Imagine these kids being like, it was a room that had all these faces coming out of the walls.
Yeah, they sound crazy.
You sound absolutely insane. You're like, I was in this room that had like a ballerina's leg coming out of the wall.
Bro, that's so weird.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, he designed his house around that. The more you hear about this guy Epstein, the
so
creepier
weird.
it gets.
Yeah, he was
you know
so
what I mean?
strange.
To even just look at some of these rooms, bro. I mean, I could even show you the ballerina.
The faces coming out of the walls is so weird.
Enough.
In Manhattan, bro. Those beams ain't stable. They recording? I'm getting out of there.
I told you that Sprite used to come in a green bottle, but now somehow it's always been clear. You remember it, right? That iconic green bottle, unmistakable on the shelves. But now they tell us it was never fully green, just a clear bottle with a green tint label, a cap. But that's not how we remember it. Could this be another case of the Mandela effect? A glitch in reality where history shifts and only some of us remember the truth. Think about it. Why did they change it? Or did they? Same way Fruit of the Loom's cornucopia never existed and the Berenstain Bears somehow became the Berenstain Bears. Are we witnessing another reality shift in real time? And here's the thing. This change feels recent, yet official sources act like it was always this way. Some people swear they've only ever seen clear Sprite bottles, while others vividly remember the solid green. Could it be that we're slipping between timelines?
See, because I remember the solid green. Do you guys remember the clear bottles? I mean, I've seen the clear bottles, but I haven't seen the green anymore, man. So, man, these Mandela effects, bro, they get trippier and trippier every single time I see a clip, man. But I'm team green, bro. I remember the green bottles.
Mount Shasta reptilian base, and then I've also heard of Superstition Mountain. A lot of high activity there as well. A lot of people go missing.
Yeah, I went hiking up through there and I left pretty quick. I just got my spidey senses went off, my neck started, and I go, there's reptilians here. I could feel we were being watched. I go, this isn't good. And I called on the higher beings to keep an eye on us, you know, till we got out of there. But you could feel the energies. There's definitely something based there that's not positive. There's places, you know, like the Bradshaw Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch, things like that, you just want to stay clear of. There's multiple layers of things going on. A lot of it, the land has been cursed because of what happened to the Native Americans. There's underground ET activity there, and they're not positive. You know, they're the negative variety.
See a creepy video of possibly a glitch in the Matrix. This was sent in by someone named Lisa. She said it's fine if I use her real name, and she said she got a camera alert from her front door camera at 5:29 in the morning. She says she did not review the footage until later in the day. She was sleeping when she got the notification, but also when you see it, which you'll see it, notice the bottom right hand corner of the video because there's some weird movement down there afterward. So here we go. It gradually gets lighter, but the initial notification was at 5:29 a.m. and you can see the camera sort of picks up the changing light as it gets more and more into the morning, I guess. But this video is about 40 seconds long. I cut off a bunch of it. Who is that? And now look at the bottom right. Interestingly enough, she says that the boy in the photo looks a lot like her son, but it's not her son. And later that day, they received an unexpected grocery delivery of things that she wouldn't normally buy her son. And they asked around the neighborhood, they checked their apps, they had not ordered it. She said the thing in the video in the bottom right-hand corner does look to her and her son like it's grocery bags, but if that's the case, they were in the video 8 hours before they were actually delivered. Her theory is interesting. She says that her son was actually a twin in utero, but that her son's twin actually passed. And when they went over this footage and they were talking about it, her son was laughing and saying, well, maybe my twin wanted me to have some snacks. Snacks that you wouldn't buy me, Mom. So let her know your thoughts. Interesting enough. And she'll be seeing the comments. She said it was fine if I used her real name. If you have a creepy video or you have something that you want more community eyes on, send that in too. We would love to see it.
Weird. What's that cube in the sky?
Shell casing in our Publix avocado.
Is that?
We just found a round in a Publix avocado. Wait.
We bought this from Publix yesterday. Today. No, it was yesterday.
We thought it was like...
I thought it was a stem at first.
We thought it was like a weird stem. There's literally a round in...
I thought it was a nail.
A Publix avocado.
Should we dissect it?
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't explode.
Wait.
I mean, who knows? I've never seen a round in an avocado, so maybe this isn't actually an avocado. We'll see. All right, well, it looks like a normal avocado there. Here's our round.
Wait, is it gonna explode?
Hopefully not.
What do you mean, hopefully?
Careful.
Oh, is that Russ? You don't have any open wounds, do you?
It's like sealed. Oh my god, look, there it is. Here's a...
No way!
The shell casing in a Publix
is that really
avocado.
all it is?
Oh, maybe the bullet's in here. I mean, it looks kind of spent, but definitely see the gunpowder in there. That's pretty cool.
Please advise on further actions.
Wait, get a closer look at it. Let's put a bullet tip on it. See that? It's got a dent in it.
I was really looking forward to this avocado.
Publix, 3 avocados for life.
Publix in return for not going to the feds.
sister, Katie?
Oh my God!
That's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom?
Hold on, we gotta get a side by side.
Wait.
Oh my goodness.
That is scary. She's the first. She's the prototype.
Have you noticed these old glitched clips of celebrities resurfacing recently? When you link them together, you start to uncover something that's quite strange. The pattern is getting a bit impossible to ignore. Who remembers the eye glitch? Look at this. The eye. It just stops. It's like a playback error in real time.
You scared? It's dark.
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at? What you mean? What? Don't play with me. No. I know, baby. I don't play. Nope.
If I ever shave my
Smart.
face again, you'll know. It's a thing. It's not our world.
None of this is real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
Jim Carrey has never appeared in public again since his worst appearance this year, and it's even worse than we thought. Most people don't realize the impact his appearance at the César Awards had on his image. Everyone was talking about him, but not because of his performance. They were talking about the way he looked because he no longer resembled the Jim Carrey everyone knew. And if you go back and watch his old interviews, you realize he had warned us long before. Even back then, he was saying things that nobody took seriously. He looked straight into the camera and calmly said that this world wasn't real, that none of this truly mattered, that we didn't matter. He was saying something deeply unsettling while the journalists around him smiled without realizing what he was really saying. He went even further. He even said that he simply felt dead in front of people, and yet he said it with a smile. But the most disturbing part is that we haven't really seen him since. The last time he was seen publicly, he looked completely unrecognizable at the César Awards. His face looked nothing like the actor people had always known, as if something had broken between one appearance and the next. Since then, nothing. No major public appearances, no interviews where people recognize the old Jim Carrey. And when you put everything back in order, his words about the world not being real, his complete detachment, and that final image of him looking so different, it tells a story that feels much bigger than that of a tired actor. It looks like someone who knew what was about to happen to him.
What the fuck is that, bro?
They fusing, bro.
Epstein shapeshifted in front of me. It's very hard to understand if you haven't seen it. But I saw it. I want to be lie detected on this. But I've never seen anyone else turn into anything like that. And it happened. It was like a weird hologram, and it had like big black eyes. If you look back through ancient history, you'll notice there are a lot of dragons. They only used to draw and depict what was real.
Okay. Ancient shapeshifting.
Also, there's this article joking about Bush, Clinton, and the Queen all being reptiles. Why do Hillary Clinton and Prince Andrew apparently not sweat?
You never sweat? What the hell?
What about Bieber, Adele, and Lady Gaga apparently all shapeshifting?
All the major celebs, bro. Not surprising.
I painted Epstein as a reptile in 2019, and Maria Farmer, another victim, painted him as a reptile in 2020. Others have had similar experiences.
It's always been there, bro.
What about the Simpsons prediction? Wasn't the Simpsons man on Epstein's airplane?
America, take a good look at your beloved candidates. They're nothing but hideous space reptiles.
As Tucker Carlson recently said, maybe we really are in a spiritual war.
That we are being acted on by spiritual forces that we cannot see, that there is a war going on all around us, out of our sight, not perceived by our senses most of the time, between good and evil.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the craziest thing a doctor told me about humans that makes a lot of sense. He said humans lived longer, 300 to 1,000 years, when there were no beds and no shoes. He said, as a matter of fact, everyone in his family lives to be over 100 years old. And he said, if this information got out, the medical industry would probably collapse. So he said, think about this. Grounding. If you sleep on the floor, the earth, it pulls out toxins out your body. Your feet, when you walk barefooted outside, that grounding also pulls metals and toxins out of your body. So he said, in his family, they sleep on the floor. And they do at least 30 minutes outside grounding. So he also said, if you want to take it a little bit further, get you some copper and wear a copper bracelet. It helps with your grounding. But yeah, he said beds and shoes help the medical industry make a lot of money. I'm out.
It's so easy.
Damn, that's a whole lot of information on us, bro. Now that I think about it, man, you're right, man. People back in the old days, they would age a lot longer than they are now currently. And it's because we're not grounding ourselves enough. I've seen clips of, people saying how we need to connect with the earth more, man. And just need to go outside, have sunlight, touch grass. But, bro, I'm out the copper if we can, copper bracelets. See, because did any of you guys wear that, bro? And have you guys seen the effects? I definitely want to check it out, man. Makes you think, though, bro.
Right now, that all you gotta do is tell the world, the universe, look, I know I've been reincarnated. I'm done playing. I don't want to be reincarnated no more. I'm done.
And you done from that moment. Hey, bro, how weird was that he said that and then that dropped, bro?
Spooky.
That was fucking weird, bro. Hey, yo, listen, that was fucking weird, bro. That was weird. It's never happened here once, ever. And right when he said that shit dropped. That's weird.
This happened every time.
I'm creeped.
Ever since they turned CERN off, there's been some weird things happening with the Mandela effect. For instance, Tom Cruise is now wearing a pink shirt instead of a white shirt in the movie Risky Business during the dance scene. In fact, I looked it up. There's instructions online how to dress like Tom Cruise from Risky Business for Halloween. It literally shows him in a pink shirt and recommends a white shirt and sunglasses. It's like we're stuck between two timelines, okay? The weirdest thing is, everywhere you look online, everybody's Halloween costume is a white shirt with sunglasses. Now, the main thing that argues with this is that people say that he's wearing sunglasses and a white shirt in the movie cover or some of the promotions for the movie. I don't believe that for a second. I think that we're stuck between two timelines. Look, literally every starter kit for the Risky Business costume shows Tom Cruise in a pink shirt and then recommends a white shirt. Pink shirt next to a white shirt. I can't even make this up at this point.
CERN just shut down the Large Hadron Collider until 2030, and now the cornucopia is back. So on June 29th, the LHC was shut down for a 4-year-long upgrade, but people online are already saying that reality feels different. Ever since the shutdown, I'm seeing people say that time is starting to feel normal again instead of being stuck on fast forward. Others say they feel like a weight has lifted. Their senses are sharper, the sky is clearer, they're finally getting restful sleep and dreaming again, they're not waking up with headaches, and even some with a constant ringing in their ears has suddenly stopped. Now leave a comment if you've experienced any of this, because apparently a lot of people are noticing it, including me. But what actually is CERN and what is the LHC? Well, CERN is the European Organization for Nuclear Research, founded in 1954, based near Geneva on the Swiss-French border. The Large Hadron Collider is the world's largest particle accelerator, a roughly 17-mile underground loop where physicists smash particles together near the speed of light to study and find out the true nature of reality and discover things like the Higgs boson or God particle. Before the LHC was first fired up in 2008, there were a lot of people online worried that it was going to create something like a black hole that would destroy the Earth. It didn't, but the weird part is that after they first turned it on, a lot of people say that reality started feeling off. People said time started to feel faster, and the world in general kept getting stranger and more chaotic. This was also around the time when the Mandela effect seemed to start, and people have speculated that somehow CERN has caused this and made us to jump into different timelines, and that's why people are remembering things differently. And here's something else interesting. Every few years, the LHC enters a major shutdown for repairs or upgrades, and shortly after, strange or global events seem to follow. Most notably, the first time it was shut down was right after the first test, and the global financial crisis of 2008 happened.
So it goes back all the way since 2008, man. Now maybe that's where the first change, that's where the first shift in the timelines actually happened, man. And we've been trying to get back ever since, bro. Crazy work, man. Why don't you just keep it off forever, bro? But you know they're gonna turn it back on, man.
Here we have 3 different Bigfoot that were acquired by my father September 23rd, 1953. You can see all of them are similar. They're all the same species, yet there's differences. There's different hair color, there's different sizes, they're different, like humans. But I'm not saying that they're remotely related to humans. They're not. They're non-human. It's my belief that they're interdimensional. Some of the differences between them and humans, we have iron-rich blood. Bigfoot have copper-rich blood. Also, Bigfoot have magnetism. We do not. When they're walking around, they're picking up iron. They're covered in rust. They're non-human. It's my belief that they're interdimensional.
I'm sorry, I've never seen crows chase after a car. Are you seeing this?
Project first dreamed up by the military to get information from the battlefield.
They call it smart dust, and the new technology may soon make it possible to keep track of anything, anywhere, including you.
Smart dust originated with DARPA back in the 90s. This powder-sized chip is something called the Mu chip from Hitachi. It's the smallest commercially available RFID system in the world. You can literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. It doesn't require a battery. Flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out.
The nanoparticles were designed to go under the radar of the immune system, and so they are undetected in the body.
We have computing everywhere, we have connectivity everywhere, we have infrastructure that can compute those with new capabilities like AI.
If you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible.
Yo, what's up, family? It's your boy Drew Cypher, and this is Your 2 Cents. So I'm trying to link everything that got together, and I hope you guys are seeing the way that I'm connecting these dots, because this has a lot to do with the data centers. In my honest opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only, but let me know if you guys believe that this is tied into the data centers with the water disappearing and everything else, and with the Neuralink type chips and the way that they're trying to introduce AI into the human body. And a lot of people are speculating that they want to create some type of human AI, hybrid, like a cyborg type thing. I don't know how I feel about that, but these are scary times that we're living in. So make sure you drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about this. Are you on board with this? Or are you against this? I gotta hear from the family. I try to get this knowledge out to you guys to see what you guys think about this, and also keep awareness raised as high as possible. But I know in this family we stay together. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a like, follow, share, comment, all that good stuff. Help run this video up so more people can see it. And as always, stay safe, stay dangerous, stay in the light. To the next one, I love you guys. It's Your 2 Cents.
This is the result of a ritual in North Carolina in 1999. A man was on a hunting trip in 1999, and he walked into an open part of the forest, and he saw a group of people just standing there with a woman in the middle. Things got super scary really fast when the woman started levitating in front of everyone. But the only one shocked there was the hunter. Everyone else kept chanting in a language the man could not understand. Eventually, the hunter was freaked out just enough to call the police, and when they arrived, the group was gone. But they found fragments of animal bones, ancient texts from books that they have never seen before. To this day, no one knows who this group was, or the mysterious woman that was floating. Imagine how scary walking up on something like this would be. As always, thank you for watching. Stay weird.
It's weird.
Keep telling y'all, pay attention to what you eat, because it just might be in the food. Now you have officials saying that it's a parasite going around giving people explosive diarrhea. You heard what I just said? They're saying that a parasite is giving people explosive diarrhea. And if you don't know what explosive diarrhea is, it's when you get the bubble guts and your bubble guts turn into mud booty. So it's a parasite called Cyclospora. This parasite infected more than 100 people in over 17 states already. And get this, they're saying that New York has some of the highest numbers. So people in New York, if you've been walking around, your stomach hurting, you've been having diarrhea, this might be the reason. But the craziest part of all this shit is officials are saying that this outbreak may be connected to food. Not spoiled food, not food that you left out too long, food that people bought, took home and ate. Food that people had absolutely no reason to believe that anything was wrong with it. And that's what makes the difference. You got people starting to get hit with severe stomach pains, exhaustion, nausea. You got people vomiting. And the worst of it all, what I mentioned in the beginning, you have people with explosive diarrhea. I don't even know. What is explosive diarrhea? Explosive diarrhea. And they're saying that this could last for days or even weeks. So basically, investigators are saying that imported produce might be involved. This might be the reason. Nobody can say for sure exactly what started this. But the good news is, nobody died from it. But if you start dealing with major stomach issues over the next couple of weeks, this could be the case. So all I'm telling you to do is stay safe, stay informed, and pay attention. I'm out.
Will do.
I think this is a cloud. This thing's been following me since I was walking up at the school. Now, it's just hovering above my house. It's not even changing. We're gonna see if it'll change. Oh, because there's a breeze. Is it moving? Yeah, it's disappearing.
Yeah, it's fading.
Oh, don't you disappear, because you know I'm looking at you. It's disappearing. Do we see this? Oh my gosh.
What's that?
It was there for a very long time.
And it faded away.
Simulation theory. Are we currently in a simulation?
I think so. I think that we are in very hyper intelligent computer only because of things like coincidences, of things like when we're seeing the emergence of quantum mechanics, quantum physics. How do we know that we're not in some type of video game right now? Because think about this. GTA 6 is going to come out, right? It's supposed to be the most intelligent, most efficient game ever. People are going to be living in that game. Now, going back to the gateway process where they said our reality is nothing but a hologram projection. That sounds like a video game to me. That sounds like a simulation. So when I say simulation, I don't think in terms of a traditional computer per se. I think this is more of a realm that was created by an entity that is a project. I think this is a prison planet to where we are genetically engineered beings because 90% of our DNA is junk DNA. Now with this disclosure, I think that they know that there's other entities that we've been spliced with that's most of our DNA. This is why we're so unique.
What's up with the lettering behind the ball? How are they doing with you so far from home?
Y'all see it?
Like, what?
I see it.
Waiting for it. I overheard from some of the conferences, and then what I enjoyed watching. What is this?
That's a green screen, bro.
Have you guys ever seen anything like this, y'all? Look at this, y'all. What is this? What is this weird structure coming out of the sky? Oh my, as of late this year, we have been seeing some extremely weird things going on in the sky, y'all. But this right here, this by far has taken the cake thus far. Cause I don't know what this is. It looks like a drill. It looks like an ice drill coming from the heavens. And it also looks like that dragon, that flying dragon from the never-ending story, y'all, doesn't it? And the fact that it's this type of shape before, like, y'all going to tell me this is, what is this, y'all? Have you guys ever seen a cloud shape like this? Let me show you something else. This was just in Georgia the other day. Why does this have the face of 47?
What's going on in Georgia?
Why does this have the face of 47? You guys can clearly see that. What is going on with this sky? This right here was spotted in Nashville, Tennessee.
What the fuck is that?
Look at that. Look at the colors.
What the fuck is that?
Y'all see the colors on that? And then this was taken by my goddess as we were driving down the 75. Look at that. Why does it look like huge rings? Do y'all see that? It's like whipping through the sky. Look.
I see it.
Wow, look at this. We can call this anything but normal, right, y'all? I don't know if normalcy is a thing in 20, because what is that? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace in.
These two islands are 2 miles apart but have a 21-hour time difference. I see a lot of people saying this proves the Earth's flat. Is it though? So when you look at a map of America and Russia, right, they're not exactly that close together, luckily, right? But there's actually only a 2-mile gap between Russia and America. Now, there's of course rising tensions all around the world, World War III and all this crazy stuff going on, and I don't even know what to believe anymore. You probably think you're in America, Russia's absolutely miles away, like, you're not getting anywhere near that, but it's actually quite close, especially if you live in Alaska. So if you look at the gap between Russia and America, there are these 2 little islands, just 2 separate islands right in the middle. Now, this one called Diomed is in America, but the island on the left is in Russia. 2 miles of sea. Just in between these 2 islands is what separates America and Russia, technically. But what's crazier again is that they both have completely different time zones. They actually have a 21-hour time difference, meaning you could be on Monday on one of them, go 2 miles to the other one, and you're back on Sunday. I have so many questions, because surely the sunlight, just none of it makes any sense. I mean, obviously time is just an illusion, but still, that's mental.
I just want y'all to see I'm at a... Look what we got, y'all. Somebody outside.
Whoa. They're picking up spirits.
I believe God is real. This is all proof to me. Look at this.
That's insane, man.
Nobody here.
They keep popping up. Is that a Tesla? Tesla can sense ghosts now?
Part of Scary Movie 2 that has its very own Mandela effect. Do you know about this? No, yeah. The quote, "Take my little hand," is the correct quote, right? From the film.
Yes.
But everybody
Take my good hand.
thinks it's "Take my strong hand." And
Yeah, it is take my strong hand. Take my strong hand.
No, it's "Take my hand." And my mind flew today.
Really? I thought it was take my strong hand.
I remember it saying "Take my strong hand." Wait, so you have been affected
We
by
wrote it, and yeah. But then again, people think I said, I see white people in the original Scary Movie, and I said, I see dead people.
Coming to Scream 2, I was like, wait, now I specifically also remember him saying, I see white people. That was literally like in the trailer, I remember.
I see dead people.
I remember even the little hand thing. I remember strong hand, and I used to repeat that all the time growing up.
I think, okay, for the white people, dead people, that one kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the strong hand is when he's mixing the mashed potatoes. I think he says, let me use my strong hand.
Well, the Mandela effect, man, crazy. I don't, you forget that line that he wrote, yeah, we know he wrote the movie, so the fact that the Mandela effect is that strong, man, where it can affect the creator of a movie, and he wrote the lines, no telling, man, where the effects, where it stops.
This sarcophagus is 100 tons. You need 50 elephants to move it, and it's inside of this tomb. See all the carvings on it? They're not from the original sarcophagus, because if you look over here, this section is indented, and this indent still has carvings in it. So someone came after the fact and put all these carvings in to try to claim it or something. But it's literally taller than my head.
It is.
I'm 5'10".
Who built it then? Important questions.
And it was just humming. It was just sitting there and humming. And I couldn't believe it. There's a flying saucer. There's a flying saucer outside.
It wasn't particularly high up, maybe 1,000 feet, clearly under some sort of control.
Not an aeroplane, no wings, no propellers.
There's one there and there's one over there. And oh my God, they're over the power lines. And they moved incredible speeds, straight up in the air. We were crying thinking it was the end of the world. It was just utter mayhem. I feel Funny saying flying saucers because it seems like it's some comical thing or it's not true.
The significance of the Westall case is the fact that there were so many people, a sheer volume of first-hand eyewitnesses. You've got kids out on recess saying the same thing 60 years later.
This is what I saw. That's what I saw. What frustrates me, and I think all the other pupils, is the attempts of having it buried. Could we just find out what it was, please?
Payment waking up. They recorded it.
The government just passed a brand new law where every single guy in America gets put on the military draft list automatically, and it starts this December. Within just 30 days of turning 18, you will officially be on the list, and it affects anybody from 18 to 26. Then, basically, you'll get a letter in the mail saying that you've been registered.
A man turning 18, applying for his driver's license, or filling out any government forms may also be signing up for the military draft.
You weren't even asked. Hello? They actually signed this back in December, but the reason why everyone is freaking out right now is because of what's happening in Iran. The peace talks just collapsed, and there's also a Navy blockade on Iranian oil. And in the middle of all of this happening, the government is basically just trying to make sure that they know where every single guy in America is. The reason why this law was able to pass is because they said that guys just stopped signing up, so the government decided to just do it for them. Nobody is saying that the Iran thing and the draft thing is connected, but the timing is obviously a little bit crazy. This does not mean that there is going to be a draft, but the government just made sure that they know exactly where every single guy in the country is if they ever needed one. They send you a letter after you've already been on the list, so I appreciate the heads up.
We are in a tick infestation. What I'm about to tell y'all, I need y'all to really pay attention to what's going on right now.
Okay.
Because this shit crazy. The CDC and other people are reporting that this might be the worst season for ticks ever. Across the board. The crazy part is, y'all, I had a tick on my arm today. I was like, what the? They are saying Lyme disease cases is through the roof. They said half of the ticks that they tested came back positive for Lyme disease. They have never seen anything like this before. So if you one of them people that live by long, tall grass or by the woods, you like being over there, or outside a lot, you better check yourself. Or if you got a dog and you walking them by the woods, you better check them. These ticks, they not just causing Lyme disease. They're also causing a disease where you lose the ability to eat red meat. For some people, it might be good. But for others, they love their meat. Pause. I just want to know, why is this outbreak spreading like this? And why are half of the ticks that they've been testing coming back positive like this? Then they got a vaccine. Something weird going on, y'all. Stay updated with me. Hit that follow button.
I will.
Nigga, I swear to God, this is a rabbit mixed with a deer.
How's a D, bro?
A lot of people are starting to notice that we've had really strange weather phenomena in the last couple weeks. It all started when people began recording and reporting red lightning all over the sky. According to scientists, this red lightning, also known as red sprites, has always been around, but people are still finding it strange, seeing as how it came out of almost nowhere. On New Year's Eve, lightning struck the U.S. Capitol, the Washington Monument, and the Empire State Building. And although lightning does typically strike high points, some people believe that all three of these buildings being struck on the same day is more than a coincidence. To top it all off, people all over the UK, Canada, and the US are reporting a very dense and mysterious fog. What's really strange is that the people recording it claim that the fog is giving off a very metallic smell, as well as giving them headaches, a cough, and sickness in general after encountering it. This has led to multiple theories. While some believe that the fog was purposely implemented to cover up something in the sky, others believe that nanoparticles or smart dust has been sprayed. But leave a like and let me know what you think about all this. Have you encountered this fog, and do you think it's suspicious?
I never encountered that fog, so... But I've seen clips about it. They put some in the fall now, bro. All this freaking weather, man, is being engineered.
GM, Cadillac, and Chevy say you're going to pay a monthly fee. They're going to phase out the ability for your Apple or Android phone to connect to your car, to see your navigation, to text people back, to listen to your Apple, Spotify music. No. You have to pay for their service, and then you can utilize all that stuff. Originally, they said it was only going to be on EVs. Now they've announced by 2028, every car that comes out will have only their software, and your phone will no longer have the ability to connect it because they will block it. There's no way of getting around it because it looks like every manufacturer is going to go this route, and they expect you to pay this well after you've paid for the car that has the feature that they're blocking, so that they can monetize and have another stream of income. It's not enough to gouge and sell you an over-expensive, not very well-made car. On top of that, you will pay monthly for the rest of your life if you want to use navigation or play your music on their car.
Military officials are claiming to have used an unprecedented new technology called Ghost Murmur in the rescue of a downed pilot in Iran, and the CIA is confirming the use of this technology for the first time. Described as a long-range heartbeat detection tool using quantum magnetometry and AI to isolate the electromagnetic signature of a single human body from miles away and across mountainous terrain. Some people are speculating that this technology was also used to track people like Maduro and target people within Iran. If this tech is real and can locate a downed airman in mountainous terrain, what else can it sense? The possibility of mapping out hidden bunker systems, tunnels, finding soldiers underground, and locating targets anywhere, anytime, any place in the world is a pretty powerful tool.
Do you guys remember this from 2022? Yeah, when the baby literally dressed up like a reptile? It's interesting, okay? Now, when I did my past life regression, I saw a reptile just like this with those long black fingernails strangle me to death on another planet. So if you guys have ever done a QHHG session, you can go back and visit our lifetimes. And I went back to one of my most important timelines, and I was living on a water planet, and these reptile figures like this that could breathe fire came in and destroyed the planet. And I saw one of them, just like this, with very long black nails, choke me to death. I could literally feel it under my hypnosis session, and I was bawling my eyes out. It is up on my YouTube if you guys want to see it, under the healing playlist. But when I saw that, it all made sense, because now this is the end of that timeline where they run the world, okay? They don't run it anymore. Their vibration no longer functions here because we as humanity have shifted the planet's frequency. According to the Schumann resonance, we are vibrating at such a higher frequency that these beings cannot sustain or survive, and that's why they're all being exposed.
Rain clouds. Where did these phenomena be taking place at, bro? I never see them.
Balenciaga back at it again. They just came out with this shipping box dress for $8,900. God, something was in my eye. Y'all want to see some more pictures? Oh yeah, $8,900 Balenciaga shipping box. I don't know if y'all are interested in wearing a cardboard box around your body, but to spend $8,900 on this is a little crazy. I don't know why they would come out with something like this, but this is the saddest part, right? The sad part is people are actually going to buy this. And y'all act like this is real fashion. This looks crazy. It is literally a cardboard box. I don't think y'all understand that. And all because of the name, the brand, the style, and the price of it. People are gonna say, oh man, I'm buying this. Yeah, this fire. Now, I'm gonna be real. I don't think people are gonna buy this and wear this out in public. But you're definitely gonna see somebody wear this at like a really big event, an Oscar show, an award show, or whatever. Somebody that just doesn't have anything to do with their money is gonna purchase this. Y'all let me know though, if y'all had the extra money to spend, the $8,900 extra, by the way, would y'all buy this? This cardboard box dress? Like and follow for more. This is crazy.
No! Why would I buy a freaking cardboard? box suit or something like that, man, I could go in my closet, bro, and make it down. And make my one myself, bro, for $0 instead of spending $8,900 on a cardboard suit, bro, by Balenciaga. No.
Simon Cowell has claimed there is life on another planet after a bizarre close encounter over his garden. The VGT and X Factor judge was left stunned after spotting a mysterious object streaking across the sky above his home.
Okay, there is life on another planet, and here is proof. That.
No, it's that way.
No, it's that. Look. That is unbelievable. Message.
We gotta talk about Palm Beach Pete. Oh, Palm Beach Pete, fam, he was going through a lot. Obviously, everyone thinks he's Epstein. Yeah,
Now,
because
a lot of
like
people started diving in. I think he activated his Instagram last month. Only last month. And if you notice, in one of the Epstein interviews, that was never supposed to release. It was a secret Epstein interview. Oh, really? The one where he said he was a devil? Oh, yeah. So he has a tendency to mess up stuttering F's. No. Now, in a podcast with Palm Beach Pete, what does he have trouble pronouncing it? There's no way. F's. And he has the same stutter the exact same way. I'm gonna live films, maybe? And the next thing
As your firm, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Jaffe, has been described by the U.S. Attorney as perpetrating one of the largest frauds.
Literally the same stutter, and literally the same way he said the. No, even the way he talks. The way he talks is it's the cadence. People looked into it too. Yeah. They drew a face scan of it. And you can see like pretty much the history you can see in your face. Yeah. You can't really lie on your face marks. Yeah. Wrinkles over time. Yeah. They're very unique to that person. Palm Beach and Jeffrey Epstein have the same line. No, man. And Palm Beach Pete has been posting really weird content looking like full Epstein right here. What the heck? You've been hit back. You've been hit back. Smooth.
Up America, I'm here at a Walmart and I want to show you the electronic pricing tags that can change prices based on surge pricing. So as you know, a lot of places are starting to replace actual paper tags with digital tags. Here at the Walmart by me, they're doing that now. So let me show you what these look like and let me show you the difference. So here's a digital tag. These prices can change at a moment's notice. And they do throughout the day. Every single one has been changed to a digital tag, so these prices will go up 3 or 5 cents depending on what time of day it is, and they'll go up when more people are here shopping, and they'll go down when fewer people are here. So let me show you the difference. Here's an actual tag, and then here's the digital tag. See, they look identical, but this one is a digital tag. You can even scan it and change it, or it'll change depending on if they program it. And this is the paper tag, and this is on every single fucking one almost. And you can see here behind the glass. So this is happening at every Walmart across the country, and this will be happening at every grocery store across the country at some point. They can literally take these prices and change them up and down a couple of cents throughout the day and make millions. And then they'll incrementally raise them so it'll always be higher. See, look at these prices. These prices are indicating that they've raised them and lowered them slightly throughout the day, and they have. There's videos online showing these prices changing. And they're also planning on using your phone data to change the prices as you're perusing the products. That's not happening now, but that's coming in the future. So a price just for you, fucking you for profit personally.
That's insane.
Family 2026, I told y'all the veil is gone. And now we got rappers popping out, shape-shifting on stage, and this is recently at the Coachella event, man. I don't know what rapper this is. If y'all know, let me know, but on From the Grave, shit is crazy.
Any seekers, bro, did y'all go to Coachella and see that Sway Lee event? It's basically like we could change their morph. That's like my second clip seeing it, and it definitely looked like something was going on, bro. I got any seekers who witnessed that firsthand? I'd love to hear your experience down below.
Moon's real?
No, absolutely not. The Dogon tribe in Africa talks about the time before the moon. Literally, there was a time before the moon, which means what? Which means the moon was implanted there was not made by quote unquote the original OG God. It was implanted there, and like literally there's a whole science about how it connects to Saturn and how it's literally like an energy suck station, how it's influencing the water and the magnetism of the reproductive cycle, the hormonal cycle. We're 70% water. If it affects the ocean, is it affecting us? Absolutely. And what's inside the earth, right?
Saturn, huh? I feel like I've heard that Saturn is like Satan or something. It's like also the word, I don't know, I've heard like that. And when you listen to Saturn, I don't know if you've ever heard of the sort of the tone that comes from each planet, but when you get to Saturn, it sounds like hell.
Yeah, I've heard of the tones that the planets emit. I haven't particularly sat and listened to Saturn, but yeah, I'm not scared. Like, maybe I'll listen to it, yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Like the Saturn is communicating with the moon, and there's like a connection there, and it's pooling energy, and there was a time before the moon, which means it was planted there.
Can you see that? Goes all the way down the Atlantic, and what was down there? What was going on back then? Come on. Across the street from this thing. Damn right. Goes down the whole block. The Armory. Do they have anything to do with each other? King's Highway? What is that? That makes sense? That makes sense, huh? They just added that. Come on. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Who are they looking out for? Queens, where I'm living now? I'm from Brooklyn, Kings County. I live in Queens. I'm royalty. Make it make sense, New York City. Damn right. On a busy day in New York City. Look at that archway. Let's get into it, man. Come on. Sound off. Am I nuts? Am I nuts? Kings County? Come on, man. Sound off in the comments. Damn right. What are they doing? Look, where's the guy with the bow and arrow? That's New York City. What was going on down there? What was going on back then? 1891. Make it make sense, man.
I mean, that looks like a scene from Clockwork Orange. Like, it's just creepy and eerie. And it gets even creepier and more eerie if you can look inside the boat and see what I see. Some of us know who this woman is. No explanation needed. But to the ones who don't, the world will tell you that she's just a fashion designer. So tell me this. Why are some of the most high-profile elite celebrities swanning and pandering around this woman like lost puppies? A good comparison would be like if you've ever worked for a company and the main guy visits the building and you see all the managers swarming around like blue ball flies on dog shit. This is the same woman that so many artists say help with album sales and things that are not in her niche or expertise. So why is this? And you can either go and find that out for yourself, but I'm sure the comment section will send you on the right track.
In any case, AGI will not emerge from a government-funded program. It will emerge from one of the tech giants currently funding this multi-billion-dollar research. So then you'll be living in a world that you didn't agree to, didn't vote for, that you are co-inhabiting with a super-intelligent alien species that answers to the goals and rules of a corporation. An entity which has access to the comms, beliefs, everything you ever said, and the whereabouts of every person in the country via your personal data. Surveillance capitalism can toggle pretty quickly into digital totalitarianism. At best, these tech giants become the self-appointed arbiters of human good, which is the fox guarding the henhouse. They would never ever think of using that power against us and strip mining us for our last drop of cash. That's a scarier scenario than what I presented in the Terminator 40 years ago, if for no other reason than it's no longer science fiction.
So there's all the Artemis stuff
Scary.
in the news. I want to take you back a couple years. Do you guys remember when Apple dropped that movie called Fly Me to the Moon? If you guys don't remember it, the premise of this movie was in 1969, they had an alternate backup plan to fake a moon landing just in case they couldn't get to the moon.
The whole world will be watching. We can't afford to lose to the Russians. We need to shoot the backup version of the moon landing.
You mean to fake it? But what I find really funny about this, do you know what they called their project to fake the moon landing in that movie? Yeah, of course, they called it Artemis. You can't even make this stuff up, or maybe you can, and they do. Because in 1977, they also made a movie called Capricorn 1. And this movie is about a fake mission to Mars. So just before launch, 3 astronauts are secretly pulled from their spacecraft due to a life support failure that would kill them in flight. Instead of canceling the mission, the government officials decide to fake a Mars landing in a hidden desert studio to avoid public embarrassment. The astronauts are forced to go along with the deception while the mission is broadcast to the world as if it were real.
It's hard to believe you really are that far away in space.
It's hard for me to believe it, too.
So maybe it is as the Chili Peppers say, space is the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
I promise y'all that y'all don't want to miss this video. This right here is one of the real reviews that we all been waiting for. We've always had a speculation about these meta glasses and what they have been doing, the radiation, y'all. Do you see this lady's face? This is what the meta glasses did to her face, y'all. She's thinking this is a chemical burn. But if you really look at her face, y'all, it's radiation. Look at that, bro. She said the glasses exploded all over her face. Exploded all over her face, bro. If y'all got one right now, man, y'all better check it out, because even with these e-bikes blowing up, y'all don't think these things can do it too? Look at this, bro.
Okay, don't come for me. I'm going to get my hair done after work, but I didn't want any filters on this because I wanted y'all to see something. Do you see these marks here, here, and here in my face, and then all of the acne scars in my face right now? This all happened because I bought some Oakley Metas. I don't know what type of chemical they have in those glasses. It burned everywhere that the glasses sit. You can literally see the line where my glasses sit. It burned everywhere that the glasses sit, and it completely broke my face out. It was literally the only thing that I did differently. And it completely, whatever chemical is in these glasses, it just like tore me in half. Then on top of that, and I want y'all to keep in mind that this was close to 2 months ago, and these bruises and scars still have not gone away. I have tried everything to get this stuff to clear up. Speaking of me trying everything to get this stuff to clear up, I want this to see if I can get rid of the circles and things like that. Let me be clear with y'all, this shit ain't nothing but greasy. Look at this. I want y'all to see how greasy this mess is. Like, look how shiny my face is. I'm not about to get on here and play with y'all.
See, I knew there was a reason why every content creator is pushing those glasses, bro. Every single one of them has one on. Bro, so y'all know what I did. Bro, she's not the first one that's going through this. Look at this. The same thing happened to my friend with the Oakley glasses. She kept saying with the glasses, but I was like, how? So, bro, what are they doing? The person said as soon as they got an Oakley, it tore their face up as well, too. And people are also agreeing with me that it's also radiation, that it's not chemical. I told y'all. Y'all, just the fact that they got all the content creators pushing it out right now, man, how do y'all know they're not being paid to do that? And then all of this happened to the lady, y'all, and then the sun heating up, too. This is probably gonna happen a lot more, bro. If I were you, bro, with meta glasses, y'all do what y'all want, bro. But the shit is here, man. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it.
Too far. Joe Megler is a 22-year-old from Germany. As he was shaving one day, he accidentally nicked his cheek. A trail of blood started rolling down, but instead of getting scared, he was inspired. You see, Joe was a huge fan of Batman and absolutely loved the Joker. So instead of putting a band-aid on the cut, he made it bigger. Little by little, he stretched it even bigger until eventually there was a hole in his cheek. Today, Joe does everyday things like brushing his teeth through the hole and even eats food through it. Subscribe if you think this is gross.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah,
Four disturbing
all over
facts
Christmas,
about your body.
man.
If your body's immune system finds out about your eyes, it will blind you. Yes, that is correct. Your eyes and your body have separate immune systems. And if for some reason your body's immune system discovers your eyes, it will attack them, sending you blind. You can get a condition called fatal familial insomnia. This is a condition where you cannot sleep for days and you begin to lose your mind bit by bit until you die. Your body is always fighting cancer. In your lifetime, your immune system destroys anywhere from 5 to 8 cancerous cells that do not self-destruct. Some cancers fool your immune system so they can grow and spread. If you have even a small brain trauma, your brain can reset, changing your likes, dislikes, and other aspects of your personality.
Whoa, I never knew that. Everything you like and dislike can just get changed like that in the flip of a dime. It's like you become a completely different person. The more you know, man. We learning today. That's what we like to do.
Scariest videos on the internet, part 4.
This is a famous statue that is said to be haunted. And someone cut its eyes moving on camera.
Let's see. Oh, I definitely, y'all saw that? There was movement.
What in the night of the museum is this?
Or was that an edit? Or just a high class edit, bro?
Scary fact you wish you never knew. There is a shack called the Devil's Toy Box in Louisiana, and for some reason people who go in lose their mind. Do you know the tingly feeling you get when you eat a pineapple?
Yeah.
Well, that's because the pineapple is eating you. It has an enzyme called bromelain, and that enzyme eats meat, which you're made of. Now you can check if your phone activity is being monitored. Just click on share, slide all the way to the end, click more. And if any apps appear before your contacts, you should delete it immediately. Sharks have been around for 420 million years, meaning they have survived all 4 big mass extinctions, making them older than dinosaurs, Mount Everest, and even some trees on this planet. The person who invented homework came up with the idea as a punishment for students.
You are a slave. Let me explain why. We are being controlled in this world. Everything we do, every move we make is remotely controlled by these people. Every human is born with the pineal gland. The pineal gland is known as the third eye or the sixth sense. It enhances your spiritual senses. It makes you analyze information faster. It makes you take the right decisions. It makes you sleep better, and much more. These people don't want your pineal gland to be activated because you become smarter and stronger. They deactivate your pineal gland using fluoride. They add fluoride in everyday necessities we consume. Drinking water has fluoride, and it's been proven that fluoride is cancerous. What is the first thing you do in the morning? Brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Toothpaste contains fluoride. We are constantly shutting down this gland. Without this gland, we are more prone to weakness, staying up late, depression, and anger. Good news though, fluoride-free products exist.
Seekers, are y'all gonna make that switch? I definitely am, man. Fluoride, but like you said, the first thing you did is brush your teeth. That's the first thing you do in the morning, man. It's in these everyday products. They're trying to take out a 6th sense for pineal glands. Nah, man, we want ours open, bro. We will be making that switch.
This is how people react when they are told how long they will be in prison. Jacob Matthew Morgan, sentenced to 137 years in prison. Smith Riley, sentenced to life in prison without parole.
What did they do?
Cameron Herring, sentenced to 24 years in prison.
They had to do something heinous, man, to get those sentences.
They starved their 10-month-old baby. Sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Why does he look so shocked?
Dylan Shoemaker, sentenced to 985 years in prison. Nico Jenkins, sentenced to death.
He do not care. People reactions after they get sentenced, man, doesn't always amaze you because they act like their actions don't have consequences. Then they try to get all sad and upset. It's too late now. Gotta think before you act. That's an edit.
This teacher was caught doing it with an 8th grade student. And apparently it was almost daily. The kid was 13 years old and now she will serve 10 years in prison. This happened in Texas. The teacher behind me, her name is Alexandria Vera. She's 25 years old and this 13-year-old got her pregnant. She stated the relationship happened in the Instagram DMs and his family apparently approved of this relationship. The judge and the school district said that they want their teachers to teach students, not put their hands all over their students. She was originally going to get 30 years in prison, but the judge said, I don't think she's that bad, and gave her 10 years. Apparently this relationship blossomed in 2015 around summertime. The boy kept advancing, she kept denying, but eventually she gave in apparently. Prosecutors said based on evidence, they did it daily for 9 months straight. And apparently during the entire ordeal, to get away with this, she told her neighbors that the boy was her brother. And now it gets even weirder. She even moved his father in with her so she could pretend she was dating the father when in reality she was the kid. This was kind of a mask. She was also paying for the family's groceries and phone bill. This kid literally had a sugar mama. Now Alexandria Vera has a 6-year-old daughter that even called the 13-year-old kid her dad. What an interesting case. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're from Houston, Texas, did you hear about this case around you guys? As always, these videos are for informational purposes only. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I definitely feel like she should have served life for this. She knew exactly what she was doing, but the court system was pretty lenient on her.
Dark things Disney doesn't want you to know? Perfect.
That family's
So in
insane.
part 14 of this series, I talked about the deadly monorail crash that killed a 21-year-old worker at Disney.
This isn't the first time that this ride has taken someone's life.
The first death occurred in 1966 during the park's annual grad night. Pictured here is 19-year-old Thomas Guy Cleveland. He attempted to sneak into the park on that night. He successfully managed to climb over the park's 16-foot-high fence, and then he got onto the monorail tracks. But while on the track, the monorail train struck and killed him. It dragged his body 30 to 40 feet before stopping.
More on this case in my next YouTube video. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Link in bio.
They still kept it up?
That you have to come up with $9 billion or face execution. Well, that is exactly what this woman is being told by a Vietnamese court right now. You see, earlier this year, Trong My Lan, who is a real estate tycoon and businesswoman, made global headlines after she was sentenced to death for committing one of the biggest frauds in global history. $44 billion. That's equivalent to roughly 9% of Vietnam's entire economy this year. Now, of the 44 total, she is accused of embezzling $12 billion, and the court ruled this week that if she can pay back 3/4, her death sentence will be reduced to life in prison. So the question now is, can she come up with $9 billion to literally save her life? Verdict to the jury.
$9 billion or that sentence, man. Oh. She better not have spent all that money, bro. I don't know how she got 44 billion, but if she don't come up with that 9 billion, sounds like she's cooked, bro. How do people be getting away with fraud that massive? We gotta dive deep into that rabbit hole, bro.
Is count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carla Madison Gregg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carla Madison Gregg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carla Madison Gregg, guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in the indictment. Please be seated, Mr. Gregg.
All counts. 1, 2, and 3. Boom, boom, boom. It's an edit, man. If you guys see any edit seekers, man, don't be afraid to call them out. Sometimes I might miss them, and y'all can catch on to it.
Would you pay $6 million for a banana? Well, someone did, and this jaw-dropping sale made people scratch their heads. I think we can all agree that we can call it the golden banana. That's right, a golden banana, because this rare fruit was auctioned off at Sotheby's in New York. But before you start Googling the nearest banana farm, let me clarify. This isn't your average potassium-packed snack. It was a piece of art. And guess what? The buyer was someone with deep pockets and a love for eccentric art. To the point that they don't mind spending this huge amount of money for a literal fruit. So, what do you get after spending this much money? Well, a banana with duct tape. Despite this, the price skyrocketed to a mind-blowing $6.2 million, and people on the internet lost it. And who was the lucky buyer? A savvy Chinese man who wasn't about to let anyone snatch away his golden prize. In the end, some say it's a statement. Others just want to know if the banana comes with a side of luxury dip. Sadly, no one knows.
We need to be artists, bro. Take a piece of grape.
Let's take a look at the 3 biggest
that's
differences between Eastern and Western dragons. First up, appearance. The Western dragon has 4 legs, wings, and armor-like scales, whereas the Eastern dragon, while still capable of flight, has no wings and often no limbs at all. They're also much larger, growing up to 100 feet or more. Number 2, abilities. Western dragons can breathe fire, fly, and are more intelligent than any mere mortal. But they're no match for the Eastern dragon, which possesses godlike powers such as the ability to grant wishes and control over the elements. And finally, Perception. Western dragons are viewed as wild animals decimating noble knights and kingdoms, whereas Eastern dragons are viewed as deities equally deserving of our respect and fear. If you want to learn more about these creatures and even lead them into the field of battle, you should download Call of Dragons. It's a strategy game filled with cryptids you can capture, and the storyline, much like these dragons, is legendary. Comment which dragon is your favorite and download COD.
Clips you need.
So he's describing Shenron, bro.
Part 6. Octopus unscrewing the lid of a vase from the inside.
Whoa.
This is how a clam digs into sand.
What?
Vegetables in Alaska can reach gigantic sizes due to the 20 hours of sunlight they receive every day.
That ain't no pumpkin,
This is
man.
how much a pumpkin has grown in 2 months.
Terrifier 3 is officially returning back to theaters on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We're also said to be getting an extended version, but the extended version is not what you think. With director Damien Leone saying a lot of fans want to see uncut versions of things that were quote-unquote missing from the movie. Scenes like Sienna retrieving the sword from the Terrifier. They also want to see Jonathan's unaliving. And more scenes of Art the Clown at the Beta Bash, where he used the chainsaw, you know what I'm talking about? With him flat out saying, we didn't shoot those scenes, and there's nothing that would have been extended about it. And that brings me to believe that we will never see Jonathan's unaliving ever in a Terrifier movie. It wasn't shot, it wasn't something that happened, unless at the beginning of Terrifier 4 we see what actually happened to Jonathan. But I highly doubt that, because if they didn't shoot it during Terrifier 3, why would they shoot it for Terrifier 4? Also goes on to say that a lot of stuff that was quote-unquote missing are the really nice human moments between Sienna and her family. And a lot of great scenes that have to do with Gabby and Sienna's relationship, and how their bond is so strong. Which kind of makes sense, because we really didn't see much of their relationship on screen. We knew that Gabby loved Sienna. We didn't know the extent of their actual relationship. And for me, honestly, I would love to see those scenes. It would make the ending of the movie feel so much more real. Seeing how Sienna acted with losing absolutely everybody. Especially Gabby, if their relationship is as strong as Damien Leone is saying.
You guys gonna see an extended version of Terrifier 3? I remember when it beat the joke in the box office. That's just wild to think about, man. We see through these edits, bro. Okay. I know I don't do scary movies like that, Seekers, but they had a lot of choices. The Devil's House. There's some brave souls going in there, bro. I ain't going in that house. Not with a name like that. I am good. What did they find in there? Okay. Seems empty so far.
So this cop says that he was actually abducted by aliens. One night in Argentina, a police officer named Sergio Pucheta requested for backup from his base over the radio. According to the other police officers, he sounded terrified, but before the transmission cut out, he managed to say that there was something strange in the area and that he was going to investigate. When the other police officers got there, though, he was nowhere to be found. But the strange thing is that his motorcycle was there on the side of the road, along with his service handgun, his radio, and his cell phone. They looked everywhere for him, and then they ended up finding some footprints. So they followed these footprints into this wooded area, and they noticed that the footprints started to grow farther and farther apart from each other. And then all of a sudden, they disappeared. The police officers were baffled, and a search team was called to look for the missing cop. They ended up finding him the next day, 12 miles away from the area of his initial disappearance. He was found by a local farmer on the side of the road, and he was completely traumatized. He was curled up in the fetal position. They took him to the hospital, and when he eventually calmed down, he told the other officers a terrifying account of what had happened to him. He said that when he got to the area that he went to investigate, he bumped into two strange humanoid beings with glowing red eyes. He said that one of these beings spoke to him telepathically and ordered him to disarm his weapon and disable his radio and cell phone. This is when Pucheta said that he got scared and he decided to make a run for it. He said that he ran as fast as he could, but as he started to run, he started to feel like he was floating. And that's all he remembered before finding himself on the side of the road. Even more terrifying is that after this whole event, Pucheta decided to do hypnotherapy. And after the hypnotherapy, he said that he remembered that he was indeed abducted by these beings. He says that he remembers being beamed up to an alien spaceship and that the walls were luminous and bright. And then he says that he remembers being placed on a table or bed. Unfortunately, for police officer Sergio Pucheta, he was let go after this whole incident.
She was upset that she
Why?
missed her hair appointment, so she took her father's life because of it. On the morning of October 1st, 2021, 18-year-old Megan Amirowicz was busy preparing for her 18th birthday, which was going to take place at a hotel later that night. Since it was her 18th birthday, it was kind of a big deal for her, and she wanted to look her best, so she scheduled an appointment at a salon to get her hair done. As usual, her father, Conrad, was her chauffeur, and he was supposed to be taking her to the salon. Unfortunately for both of them, Conrad was a heavy drinker, and he had been drinking that early morning, so once he laid down on the couch, he ended up falling asleep. Megan tried her hardest to wake her father up, and then she realized that she was probably going to miss her appointment, and this made her blood boil. Instead of her calling an Uber to go to her destination, she decided to do something way different. Megan had grabbed a container of drain cleaner and poured it all over her father's body from head to toe. After that, then she doused him with water. Because of this combination, it caused a chemical reaction which burned away his skin. A short while later, one of Megan's friends arrived at the home. They took one look at Conrad and immediately called 911 in Oakland County, Michigan. Conrad was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. He told the medical staff that his daughter was responsible for this whole thing, but later he told investigators that he had no memory of what had happened. As Conrad was fighting for his life in the ICU, the detectives were busy gathering evidence. Once they had spoke with family members, Megan was arrested and charged. Not long after, Megan was released after posting bail. Although Conrad had survived the initial attack, he had to have both of his legs amputated, his kidneys shut down, and he had damage to his lungs. On March 6, 2022, after 3 days of being removed from life support, Conrad had passed away from his injuries. The whole time that Conrad was in the hospital, they would not let Megan go see her father for his safety, and she was very upset by it. About a week later, on March 11th, Megan's bail was rescinded, and the charges against her were upgraded to murder. She was immediately taken into custody, and she had to stay there until her trial in June of 2023. Although Conrad wasn't the biological father of Megan, he loved her so much. She was the apple of his eye, and while he was laying in his deathbed, he still tried to protect her when the law came calling for her. But with all the evidence that investigators had, it pointed to Megan as the one who burned her father alive. On July 25th, 2023, Megan was found guilty of murder. The judge on the case believed that because of Megan's age, she didn't realize what she had done, so she only sentenced her a 1-year sentence. While on parole, she would have to undergo a mental health assessment every 6 months. Megan would also be fitted for a GPS tracking device, have a strict curfew of 9 p.m., and this probation period would end in July 2028. We made it towards the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know down below if you agree with this sentencing, and if you have any requests for me, let me know down below as well.
Interesting. Multivision.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. being buried alive accidentally occurred so often that people invented safety coffins. In the Middle Ages, people used to eat mummies for medical purposes. It's the main reason we don't have a lot of mummies left today. In the United States, there are more vacant homes than homeless people. Did you know that the actress Glenn Close was raised in a cult? The Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland used to have real skeletons as props. In 1976, a TV crew realized one of the hanging bodies in the Laugh in the Dark ride was indeed a real body by accidentally breaking it. Women in the 18th century used lead as makeup. This is the first chainsaw. It was invented by 2 Scottish doctors. And, it was invented for childbirth. Yeah, there's a lot more. Like for part 4.
The hell? That's what the chainsaw was invented for?
You might not think it,
switch
but
it up.
this is the deadliest cat on the planet. It's called the African black-footed cat, and it stands just 8 to 10 inches tall, weighs between 2 and 4 pounds, which is roughly 200 times less than your typical lion. But don't be fooled, because this thing is deadly. It captures more prey in one single night than a leopard does in 6 months. They can walk up to 20 miles a night in search of prey, and have an accelerated metabolism which makes them hunt almost non-stop. For perspective, lions succeed in catching their prey roughly 20 to 25% of the time. This little bastard has a success rate of a whopping 60%. That is the highest hit rate of any wild cat, making it the deadliest on Earth.
But it's so small, man. I guess it goes to show you size don't
Every
matter.
animals you're glad that are extinct. This is the Gigantopithecus, measured to be 10 feet tall, and its teeth were named dragon teeth. The saber-toothed tiger had teeth that could grow over 8 inches, and the tigers themselves could weigh over 400 kilograms. And finally, the megalodon was a monster that roamed the sea. It's known as the biggest fish to ever live, and its diet would consist of dolphins, seals, and whales.
Hey, boy, that megalodon, every single time I see a picture of it, man, just shocks me to see that a creature like that actually existed in our world, man. Imagine if the megalodon was alive today, bro. I don't think nobody could go on the seas, man. Everybody would just be terrified. Yeah. Extinct, man.
What every country in the world exports the most of? Hot one. United States, aircraft. Germany, drugs. Switzerland, blood. Brazil, coffee. China, computers.
Things humans were never meant to see. Okay, firstly, we've all seen alligators poke their head out of water, and it's pretty terrifying when they do this. However, this is what their body looks like underneath the water. And this honestly makes alligators seem a lot less scary. This is what water looks like on fire. How is this even possible? Okay, next, in World War II, the US made inflatable tanks that were used as decoys in the war. This is genius. We were not meant to see this. This man threw boiling water off his balcony, and it instantly turned to snow. And this is a super rare sheepfish. It's a snail that has the head of a sheep and the body of a plant.
Sheepfish, that's the first time I've ever seen something like that, man.
Can you imagine
You're expanding
entering a
our
home for a
knowledge.
showing and finding the homeowners dead? Well, that's exactly what happened to billionaire Honey and Barry Sherman. This December is going to be 7 years since their gruesome unaliving, and police still don't have any idea who did this. What's crazy is that they were found by their realtor with their clients inside their Toronto mansion with their necks tied with belts beside their pool. Barry Sherman was the founder of Apotex, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world. The way Barry and his wife exited this world was very cruel, and a lot of people actually think that their son had something to do with this. There's a handful of suspicious people in this case, but many think that it was their son because this person was very close to them and knew the ins and outs of their mansion very, very well. Their kids actually inherited around $3 billion each, which is crazy. I feel like this case has not been talked about the way it should be, and considering how much they did for the community and all the donations that they've contributed to, is wild. Since this case has been open for several years and there's been no new evidence or suspects, people think that the government has something to do with their deaths. And not to mention, their mansion, aka the crime scene, was demolished immediately at the request of their own kids. That's not suspicious at all. Also, this case happened 10 minutes from where I live, so that's crazy. But if you guys want to check it out and learn more about this case and the new details and the new updates, make sure to check out my video on my YouTube channel.
That's a weird one.
51. Look, so this is 50. This is 50. Yeah, nobody knows, but it's for sale.
story about how...
Like, why would the kids demolish the house where it took place at? It's a lot of theories. They said the government, it could be the kids. They all got $3 billion each. It's a lot of damn money. That's an iffy one.
Help me. A teenage girl named Kathy was babysitting 2 kids. There was a 7-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl. Their parents went out to see a movie, and they wouldn't be home till late. Around 9 o'clock that night, the phone rang. Kathy answered the phone and heard a creepy voice saying, "Help me, for heaven's sake, help me." She immediately hung up and thought it was a prank. Then 30 minutes later, the phone rang again with the same voice saying, "Help me, somebody please help me." This time Kathy got scared. The children asked who it was, but she told them not to worry, it was fine. Another 30 minutes went by, and the phone rang one more time. The voice sounded scared and desperate this time, saying, "Help me, for heaven's sake, will somebody help me?" Then the phone went dead. Then seconds later, there was a knock at the front door, and she heard the same voice saying, help me," over and over again. Kathy said she's gonna let him in because he needs help. When the parents arrived home that night, they went into the house. Kathy and their children were laying dead in the living room with all their arms and legs cut off.
So it's an inside job?
Facts that
People
sound fake
faking
but
it?
are actually true, part 1. You can actually live the rest of your life without any food. France was still executing people with a guillotine when the first Star Wars movie came out. There are more trees on Earth than there are stars in our galaxy. Shakespeare invented the name Jessica. In Jupiter, it rains diamonds. I have to move to Jupiter right now.
Me too. Let's all move to Jupiter, but we're gonna get rich.
Random facts that will blow your mind, part 17. New York was once called New Amsterdam. The word goodbye came from God be with you. Mexico has the most external debt worldwide. Recycling a 3-foot stack of newspaper can save 1 tree.
We need to be recycling out here. Let's save the earth.
Urban legends you wish you never knew, part 3. The Catman. This isn't as innocent as it sounds. This urban legend comes from a small suburb in Norway. Legend has it that in the nearest forest, the Catman lived by himself in a hut that he built himself. You'd know if you got close to his hut because he had placed dead cats on stakes all around his area. Some of the cats you would even see pinned on the trees. He supposedly snuck into neighborhoods of the nearby towns between 2 or 3 in the morning, and he would hand out cats, strip their skin off, eat their flesh, and sell their skin. And he would keep some of the cats to decorate his place. It is said that if you met him, you would instantly freeze from a feeling of impending doom and go insane. Because after eating all these cats, he no longer had human eyes, but instead cat eyes. Needless to say, there were several aborted missions to locate his hut in the woods, but when people get to the edge of his field, that makes them want to puke from fear, and they run away.
Some events that will happen by the year 2050. The sad truth is, by the year 2050, half of the world's population will not have access to clean drinking water. Half of the Amazon rainforest will be deforested, leaving many animals without any shelter at all. In 2025, SpaceX is sending their first cargo ship to Mars. And if all goes well, they are sending their first humans to Mars by the year 2050. So who knows, maybe by 2050 we will have the first civilization on Mars. Animals are getting more dangerous and more powerful every year. Animals are evolving every day, becoming more of a threat to society. I'm not talking about your regular house pet, I'm talking about wild animals. For instance, in 2020, we found the first flying spider, your worst nightmare. You thought the coronavirus was bad? Well, by 2050, there could be more deadly viruses affecting the world than ever before. You better keep that face mask. The population will be 9.6 billion.
We don't do flying spiders out here, man. Mosasaurus? Terror bird, oh damn, what the
All digital data in the world will get deleted in 2033, and this guy from the year 2062 just told us how. Yes, he claims to be a time traveler. They even connected him to a lie detector, and it all checked out as true. So Spotify reached out to sponsor this video to let us get to the bottom of this. His name is Peter Reuter, who says in November of 2022, patient 0 of a
deadly virus started infection at JFK Airport. And in October 2023, a new variant of the virus known as Pegasus will spread to infect the entire world. Dr. Eliza Knight was assigned to Peter's case, who tells her the end of the world is closer than we think. According to him, kids being born now will be known as the IP, or interpandemic generation, who will grow up glued to a screen and fearing social contact. In 2031, we finally established our first colony on Mars, but that's nothing compared to the discovery we make there 11 years later. On March 30th, 2033, the world will experience the Great Deletion, in which an AI tasked with cleaning up junk files ends up deleting literally everything. Just imagine waking up one day with no email, no social media, your entire digital footprint is completely erased. Then, in August 2042, that colony on Mars uncovers an ancient city buried under the Martian surface, which apparently teaches us how to time travel. Ultimately, October 2053 is when the entire world crumbles for good. But then, the unexpected happens. Dr. Knight wakes up in the year 2012, where she's now the patient, and a familiar doctor is interviewing her about her mental health, which is the plot of Case 63, a Spotify original audio series which is oddly close to reality. Season 2 just dropped, so you can binge both seasons now and maybe even predict what's going to happen in our future.
3 disturbing movies.
Hey man, when you freaking describe that series, bro, some of it was kind of mirroring, you know, the real world, man. Watching these clips together, we have seen, man, you know, series and movies based off real world events, but they just like been hidden. So things were adding up, man. I might have to check out season 2 of that.
Movies you've probably never seen. This first movie is insane. It's called Flowers in the Attic, and it's about 4 siblings after their father passes away. Their mom takes them to their grandma's mansion, but things quickly go wrong because their grandma locks them in the attic and won't let them leave. Eventually, they also find out their mom is hiding a terrifying secret, and because the 4 of them are growing up without ever seeing anyone else, the relationship between the siblings starts to get unusual. Next, this movie has an insane plot twist. The autopsy of Jane Doe. The body of an unknown woman is found in the coroner and his son have to autopsy it, but soon they realize this woman is not normal. Basically, her internal organs are all messed up, but on the outside she looks fine. Then they find these strange symbols written inside her body. You'll never guess the plot twist. Last up, we have May. May is an outcast and the only friend she has is a doll named Susie. But one day this doll breaks and that leads her to do some pretty crazy things, because now she's determined to make herself a new friend. Follow for more.
Phone numbers you should never call.
Crazy plot.
This is the first phone number. You belong to the Derry Police Department. When you call this number, policeman will reply, tell you about some kids that went missing, but then Pennywise kills him and leaves you a disturbing message. This is the second phone number. When you call this number, a young woman will reply with a desperate voice who will cry, Mommy, I'm going to die, I'm at the club, you need to come and get me. We don't know where it comes from, but it is said that this woman was kidnapped and killed by a known murderer.
The most historic
I ain't calling those
case
numbers.
that has ever taken place in DC history is probably one that you have never even heard of. One of the scariest cases that I've read in a long time. This is the very true story of the Freeway Phantom. In the 1970s, there was a man in Washington, D.C. who people named the Freeway Phantom because he had one very specific MO. He was only going after young black girls and women. He was abducting them off the street, and then their bodies would be found here, left and positioned right at the freeway. Actually, in the investigation, they profiled him as someone who was a textbook psychopath. He was repeatedly calling the families after he had abducted these girls, and he was breathing into the phone, and then he would say something like, I just killed your daughter, and then hang up. Even left a handwritten note with the body of one of his victims. If you want the full story on this, we are going to cover it on the show. Mysteriously, in the 90s, all the records on the case vanished.
These are the creepiest unsolved photo mysteries. The Baltic Sea anomaly is known for being one of the most famous underwater mysteries on Earth. This sonar image from 2011 shows a large structure located at the bottom of the ocean. And if you're a Star Wars fan, it may look a little familiar to you. Many people believe that it could be a sunken UFO, or an ancient man-made structure that was lost to history. That, or Han Solo decided to move there and live his life in peace. Next, in 2016, a woman named Linda sent Belfast Live a disturbing photo that was taken from the year 1990. The photo shows a group of women in a factory with their arms crossed. One of these women was Linda's grandmother, Ellen Donnelly, and if you look closely at her shoulder, you can see a disembodied hand hovering over her. The photo quickly spread through the media, even making it to Snopes where they were unable to debunk it. So always look over your shoulder. And finally, many people believe that the Madonna, or the White Lady, was caught on camera back in 1991 at the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. On this night, Judy Huff Fells decided to take a stroll in one of the most haunted cemeteries in America, along with the local Ghost Research Society, when they felt an odd presence nearby. And when she took out her infrared camera and snapped a photo, she could see a woman sitting on a stone. And this is why you shouldn't wander around a cemetery at night.
Chilling last photos of people before they went missing, part 1. Lars Mittank. Lars Mittank was a German backpacker travelling in Bulgaria in July 2014. While there, he supposedly took part in an altercation that resulted in a busted eardrum. His family and friends were worried after receiving cryptic texts from him saying he was being followed by 4 men. This image right here is from security camera footage which shows Lars sprinting out of the airport without his luggage. And the chilling last photo before he went missing is this one right here. After supposedly hopping a fence and running into the woods, Lars has not been seen since.
Welcome to Creep Time on TikTok with Silas. Today we are covering the disappearance of Maura Murray. Maura is a 21-year-old college student studying nursing in Massachusetts in the year 2004. On February 9th, she sends an email to school letting them know she'll be gone for a week due to a family death. But no one in her family had died. Records that were obtained from her computer would show an earlier search on MapQuest for directions to Burlington, Vermont. At 3:40 p.m. on the same day, she would withdraw all of her money from a local ATM. At around 4 or 5 p.m., she takes off on this trip, having told no one, and just starts traveling up Interstate 91 North. Around 7:27 p.m., Maura's car is crashed on a sharp, snowy turn along Route 112 in New Hampshire, and a neighbor would call the police. Another driver who's returning home also passes her and offers to call for help. She pleads with him not to and insists that she's already called AAA, but phone records would later show that she never called AAA that night. The man carries on home, but decides to call 911 anyway. Between 7:27 and the police arriving at 7:46, Maura is gone. The car is found completely abandoned, and she's taken her cell phone and her credit cards, none of which have ever shown a record of being used since that night. That driver would be the last verified sighting of Maura. A witness would later come forward to report seeing a young person dressed in dark clothing traveling very quickly by foot around 8:30 p.m., roughly 4 to 5 miles up Route 112 on the same night. But it was never confirmed if this was Maura. It's been over 17 years since the disappearance, and the case has never been solved.
Man, could you guys imagine that just one day walking into the night and just
These
gone disappearing?
history facts that I guarantee you were never taught. And if you ever told your history teacher any of these, they definitely go, excuse me, what the fuck? The first toy was invented by Cleopatra. However, to actually make it work, she put angry bees inside of it. You know, so they would go... I can't lie, don't think that would pass Dragon's Den. Next up, the ancient Romans used stale urine as mouthwash. Cool, but why? Do you actually know that Benjamin Franklin had a MILF fetish? A letter that he wrote back in the day was actually found and confirmed this. However, the detail he went into within this letter, we're not going to go there. There is a sign in Pompeii next to the fountain that translates to "Please don't shit in the fountain." All I can think is how many times did that have to happen for a sign to become necessary? And finally, cornflakes were invented to stop what rhymes with fastitation. It was believed that doing this to yourself was a big no-no. They thought stale foods helped fight this urge. That's cornflakes. Anywho. Elon!
That's the birth of cornflakes, bro, to fight. You know what he meant to say, see. They thought stale food was gonna stop it? I don't think it did.
3 disturbing movies on Netflix you need to watch. This first movie is insane. It's called Secret Obsession, and it's about a woman named Jennifer who gets in a car accident and loses all her memories. In the hospital, a man shows up claiming that he's her husband. But as soon as they go home, Jennifer realizes something is wrong. Because at night, all the doors are locked so she can't leave. And the pictures of them together are photoshopped. So who's this man pretending to be her husband? And what really happened to her? Next up, there's no other movie like this. It's called Annihilation. Lena is a biologist who joins a secret mission into an area called the Shimmer, a mysterious place that mutates the DNA of everything inside it. Everyone who's ever went in there disappeared, except her husband, who went missing for a year then randomly showed up. But something is wrong with him, and Lena is determined to go into the Shimmer herself and find out the truth. Last up, we have Apostle. This is about a man who finds out his sister is being held hostage at a religious cult. So he goes to the island where the cult is to try to rescue her, but he would never expect what he would find there. Follow for more.
You help each other out, Seekers.
Behind The Wizard of Oz, the original actor who played the Tin Man had to quit filming after only 10 days because he was dying from aluminum poisoning. The makeup they were using for the Tin Man was actually real aluminum which absorbed through his skin and into his lungs. He then suffered with respiratory problems for the rest of his life. During the poppy field scene, the falling snow looks beautiful, but in reality, the cast was actually being dusted and poisoned. The snow that was used in this scene was actually asbestos, a known carcinogen. The lion costume that the Cowardly Lion wears was made out of a real lion hide, which was so hot and heavy that he would often faint from the heat. In this scene, the Wicked Witch of the West was supposed to disappear into a trapdoor underneath the set as flames shot up from beneath. When the flames erupted too soon, the actress's hat and broom caught on fire. She suffered second and third degree burns all over her body and spent 6 weeks in the hospital. The filming process was a nightmare for Judy Garland, who played Dorothy. They required her to lose 12 pounds on a diet that consisted of pills and very little food. In studio, executives would refer to her as the fat little pig with pigtails behind her back, and she was also given adrenaline shots so that she could stay awake, sometimes up to 72 hours in a row. And the actor who played the Scarecrow was left with permanent scars all over his face from the makeup and prosthetics he had to wear. And finally, the dog Toto actually made more money daily than the Munchkin actors made for the entire movie.
Whatever you do,
That's a cursed movie, man.
Case in history. In 2014, two young girls went hiking in Panama. Now they were right out in the wilderness, camping, hiking up these big mountains. I don't know why they did Panama to do that, but they never returned back. These right here are the last photos that were taken of the pair. You can see in all the photos, the pair appeared to be having a nice time taking some normal photos as you would. But then it cut out. Nothing. Radio silence for, well, an entire week. 7 days later, between 1 a.m. 4 a.m. These photos found on the pair's phone just containing very weird, abstract photos, weird stuff. But then it got worse. When authorities were searching through the photos, they found a photo of Lizanne, who was one of the girls. And in this photo, someone was holding her head, and there was blood in her hair. Now, what does it mean? We don't really know. 2 months later, they discovered something else. They discovered a pelvis and a foot. And after extensive tests, they discovered that the DNA on here matched that of the girl. They went from having a nice time, taking great photos, to these extremely disturbing photos that no one knows what they are, to being unalive clearly, but still the full story remains to be unknown. What the hell happened?
Deadliest
Careful
Computer
when you be
Viruses in the
hiking.
World Part 4. This one is called HorrorBob.exe, and yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So don't watch this if you get scared easily. So let's open this thing up and we get the usual dialog box. This Trojan is no joke. Do you want to run it? That's what we do out here. First things first, computer restarts. Nothing new here. On boot up, we get stage 1. Background changes to this dripping blood, and this ain't even the tip of the iceberg. Wait a few seconds and you get stage 2. You guessed it. This creepy, crusty SpongeBob window opens up, and it says, SpongeBob is watching you. And also this other pop-up box over here. Let's see what it says. Your Windows has been infected by SpongeBob Horror Trojan 2.0. You cannot delete this Trojan, but you have 2 minutes to use your system. After 2 minutes, your PC will crash with an RSOD, which is a red screen of death. Below that, you got the rules. Pause if you want to read them. Alright, this is where the fun begins. Stage 3. Windows Media Player opens, playing this creepy background music called Cling Clang. Just listen to this.
Hell no,
Then we get stage 4. Inverted colors start flashing as the music continues. Moving your mouse causes this glitch effect, which leads to stage 5. The screen starts to melt.
Yeah, throw that PC out. It's cooked.
Yeah, this is some nightmare fuel right here. Oh, another pop-up. Now you have 1 last minute to use your system. Okay, SpongeBob really ain't messing around, huh? Stage 6, screen shrinks like you're getting hypnotized in Get Out. Keeps getting smaller and smaller until SpongeBob pops back out to the front again. You can move the window around, but it won't get you far. Strap in, because you're in for a ride. Stage 6.5, screen just melts again for a bit. Oh, then we're here with our final warning. Last 5 seconds to use your system. Okay, Sponge, let's see what you got. It has come. Time over. SpongeBob will now crash your PC forever. Okay, behold stage 7. Screen fills up with a million red X's as the music fades away.
Yeah, it's over.
And finally, reboot. Computer restarts and we're met with a red screen of death, which doesn't even exist on Windows. No matter how many times you reboot now, this is all you'll ever see. Your PC ran into a problem that it couldn't handle and now it needs to restart. Stop code SpongeBob is watching you? Never heard of that one before. Game, set, match. This computer is dust for life, and yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking my closet before I sleep now.
It's cooked, bro. Man, these viruses on the computer, you gotta watch. You click on the wrong link, somebody try to send you something, bro, spam, bro. It will take over your whole computer, man. That's why I never click on the link I don't know. it ain't worth it.
This is a true horrifying story of the tomb of Tutankhamun. I spoke about black magic in many of my episodes. I revealed the terror and the dangers behind its rituals, such as the books Al-Ghazali and Shams al-Ma'arif, the cursed houses, the buried spells, and a lot more. However, the age of when black magic was the biggest, the strongest, and the most dangerous was the age of the pharaohs in ancient Egypt. Black magic back then was nothing compared to what it is today. Allahu A'lam. But from the stories I've heard, I even believe that the jinns were a lot more powerful than what they are today. In Surah Taha, a chapter in the Quran, it talked about black magic and how it was so strange. Black magicians would use jinns to deceive people. They used to throw their ropes on the ground and they would move like snakes. All of these things were made by jinns back in the day of Prophet Musa. Many jinns used to worship these kings, and they would provide most of their energies to execute their demands. Tutankhamun is the last of them. He was the last pharaoh of the royal family at the end of the 18th dynasty. These kings were worshipped by jinns, and when they died, their tombs were still protected by jinns. Many people have died trying to open their tombs years after their death. And the reason behind it is these tombs are guarded by black magic. If you go near an untouched tomb from ancient Egypt, you will most probably die before cracking it open. During the grand opening of Tutankhamun's tomb, 13 people have died soon after the ceremony. The archaeologist Howard Carter was the lucky one that opened his tomb. But of course, he died as well, a few years after that. Now, Tutankhamun died more than 3,000 years ago. A lot of people tried to open that tomb is because it carried a lot of treasure. The tomb itself was made of gold. And we have reports of people that died only from the 20th century from opening this tomb. But just imagine how many people have died trying to open this tomb throughout these 3,000 years. That's how strong the curse is. The jinns have protected his grave for thousands of years.
That sounds like some black magic, bro. Or dark magic, whatever they call it. They said freaking 13 people passed away after trying to go open his tomb. It ain't worth the risk. Definitely worth the risk. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker, seeking the truth. I really appreciate the support, man. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys comment down below. Follow me on my social media so we always stay connected. Hit that thumbs up button, man, to help push us into the algorithm, man. We keep growing video by video. I'll see you guys' support. I just really want to thank you guys. You guys are going to catch in the next one, man. I'm out. Appreciate you.
When psychics helped solve crimes. On May 15, 1976, 14-year-old Susan Jacobson left her home to go to a job interview at an ice cream parlor, but she never came back. Susan's parents contacted the police, but the police said she probably just ran away with her boyfriend Dempsey Hawkins, and they refused to search for her. 2 weeks later, Susan's parents contacted a psychic, Dorothy Allison, to help with the case. Dorothy asked what the word Mar meant, claiming she saw it in red spray paint. She also envisioned an abandoned car, dual church steeples, the smell of oil, and claimed that Susan had been strangled to death by her boyfriend. Then 2 years later, 3 boys stumbled across Susan's body as they were hunting. At the site was the word Mar, spray painted in red on a rock, dual church steeples, an abandoned car, and 2 oil drums which contained Susan's body. Plus, evidence at the scene showed that Susan had been strangled by her boyfriend Dempsey Hawkins, who was then sentenced to 22 years to life in prison.
Seekers, man, do we guys believe in freaking in psychics now, bro? She nailed it. She got it down to the detail, to the like last minute detail too. You know, I was skeptical about, you know, psychics, man. You know, I've seen it a couple of times. I never went into the shop before. I never actually seen one, but to hear that and that she nailed like all the details, that's pretty scary, man, to think about it. A person can have that type of insight and know those type of specific things. Makes you wonder what else is hiding out in this world, Seekers, man. Stuff we learn, bro, blows my mind. You gotta tap in with us.
Okay, case that makes me sick. The murder of Kenneth White. These 5 teenagers was throwing rocks from an overpass. Eventually, one rock hit the windshield of White's car and hit his face.
This girl
Throwing
claiming to
rocks,
be Madeleine
man.
McCann just
Crazy.
submitted a DNA test. For those that don't know, Madeleine McCann is a girl who went missing without a trace while on vacation in 2007. It's one of the biggest true crime mysteries of our generation, and there's even an entire Netflix documentary on Madeleine. Well, the mystery of Madeleine may have just been solved as this girl has came forward claiming to be Madeleine McCann. Now, this girl has just submitted her DNA test so investigators can find out if she actually is Madeleine or not. But a lot of the comments on her TikTok page seem to think that she is definitely not Madeleine. But what do you guys think?
The Knights.
Man, we're gonna have to check into that one, see, because I've seen that a couple of times, man, but really didn't get like a confirm if they confirmed her identity or not. She was gone for that long, man. Those peoples, man, getting the comments to see online, that's why you can't even be freaking like respectful online. They talk about Maddie McScam or something like that. I'm like, this is a missing person case. It's not freaking down to make joke seekers. But tell me, man, should we look into that, man, so we can confirm if it was her or not?
Stalker. A viewer asked if I could talk about this case, so here it is. Richard Ramirez was a serial killer whose crimes took place in California, and they lasted from June of 1984 to August of 1985. What made Richard stand out from the other serial killers in the past was Richard actually broke into people's homes and unalived those inside. He even went as far as stalking a girl while she slept. No longer was your home a safe place, and understandably so, that struck terror in people. By the end of his attacks, he unfortunately took the lives of 13 individuals. These are just some of them. Thankfully, he was traced and arrested on August 30th of 1985. He was charged and sentenced to death by California's gas chamber and was unalived in 2013.
Dark case seekers, man.
Let's talk about one of the most disturbing final bosses in video game history.
Okay.
God from Silent Hill 3. The objective of the antagonist in Silent Hill 3 is to birth the new god that Heather Mason is carrying inside of her. In fact, every time you die in the game, the demon behind me named Valtiel revives Heather. They want this new god to be born no matter what the cost. By the end of the game, Heather ends up getting rid of the god inside of her. But before she can deal the final blow, the main antagonist, Claudia here, ends up devouring the god right in front of her, trying to complete the ritual. Except the ritual fails big time. The god is born prematurely, misshapen, and only half-formed, which gives Heather the perfect opportunity to finish it off for good. Fun fact, the face that Valtiel gives God is supposed to look like Alessa Gillespie.
Two girls are pleading dead and the mother helps them. Everything seems to be going wrong and one of the great news is
Her sister tries to calm her down, but she sees something again and starts to cry out of fear. She then stands up, not being able to be near whatever it is that she sees, and runs to her mom for protection. Her sister is laughing hysterically at all this, but then she turns around and sees it for herself.
Look at me. What's the matter?
Check out my page to find out what happened.
Mysteries solved on Reddit.
Freaking tragic case seekers.
On August 9th, 2018, Susan Rainwater was on her routine morning bike ride down Highway 7. Tragically, she was the victim of a fatal hit and run when a careless person swerved into the shoulder on the highway. She was struck from behind at a high speed, which sent her and her bike off the road. Later that morning, confused as to why his wife hadn't returned home, her husband, 81-year-old Al Rainwater, went out to look for her. He found her mangled bike on the side of the road and eventually found her body in a ditch. He called law enforcement, they arrived, and it didn't take long to come to the conclusion that it was a hit and run. There was a big issue though. There were no witnesses. The only clue left behind was a chunk of black plastic found at the scene. One of the state troopers on the scene tweeted out and asked for anyone to come forward if they knew any information. This tweet would inadvertently spark a massive online investigation. On the evening of August 9th, a Reddit user creates a thread on the subreddit r/whatisthithing of the black vehicle chunk. Theories began pouring in fast. Some thought it was from an aftermarket bumper lip, or that it was from the window where the door's locking mechanism sticks out. Eventually, it seemed like people began agreeing what it was when someone mentioned that it looked like where you would insert a screwdriver into a grill or headlamp bezel to adjust the aim of the headlamp. At this point, Redditors had a pretty good idea about what the chunk of plastic was. Now they had to figure out the make and model. Well, of course, it's Reddit, so there just so happened to be an expert in headlamp bezels browsing the page. Reddit user Jeff Snuts is a headlamp inspector for the state of Maryland who has, quote, done a shit ton of headlamp checks. About 2 hours after the thread was posted, Jeff found the post and thought the piece looked familiar. He recognized the chunk as being part of a headlamp bezel used specifically on Chevy Silverado trucks produced in the mid-1980s. Convinced he had solved the case, Redditors forwarded that information to the state trooper. On August 14th, 5 days after the fatal hit and run, there was a huge breakthrough in the case. The trooper posted online saying the suspect had been arrested and attributed the Reddit tip to being key in the arrest. Thanks to Jeff's headlamp expertise and the local citizen that identified the truck, Susan Rainwater's killer had been arrested. The man responsible is 37-year-old Jeremy Simon. He allegedly told police that he fell asleep at the wheel and thought he hit a deer or a mailbox. He then changed the story that he was awake, but he panicked and didn't want to see a dead body. There was also heroin found in his possession during the time of his arrest. He was charged with vehicular homicide, failure to remain at an accident resulting in death, and unlawful possession of a controlled substance. He was later sentenced to serve 4.5 years on a drug offender sentencing alternative, meaning half in prison and the other half on supervised probation. To me, that sentencing is quite light, but I am at the very least glad that he was caught. But of course, leave it up to Reddit to have a very specific person stumble across a post that was almost like it was meant for them.
Need you guys help, hit that like button, subscribe. Also, man, follow me on my social medias down below so we always can be connected, seekers. You guys gonna catch you in the next one tomorrow, man. I'm out. Peace, seekers.